What do you rate me, just out of curiosity?
Oh gosh. I don't even do that. I have 3,000 followers. I'm too busy for that. How does he have time? No! Wait, I need to see that. I need to see the exit.
Okay, hold on. I actually have a hot take on this. Play this classic Vosh moment for her. Hold on. Do you know who Vosh is?
Yeah.
Actually.
Wait, yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Wait,
I've
how?
heard of Vosh. I feel like Vosh is big. I feel like I've heard of Vosh. I definitely have. No?
Okay, maybe. So one of the things that I like about Vosh is that he's very sexist and maybe a little racist. So, fuck, you're not gonna understand because there's so much backstory, okay? Or maybe you will, I don't know. Okay, there was a debate that he had with a lovely young lady, okay? Do you know what he normally sounds like?
I have no idea. No, maybe I don't know him that well. I think I've just like heard of him once or something.
Okay, this is like what he sounds like when he talks, okay?
Yeah, I can.
Hold on. Just...
Fortunately represented.
Oh no, he's watching me watch him. I'm sorry. Hold on. Fuck. Can you just say something? Hold on. Peter Koff, whatever that name is. Thank you for the $2 in Rumble chat. I appreciate it, buddy. Actually, you know what? Well, I should do an exclusive Rumble. This last section is going to be exclusive to Rumble. If you guys want to watch, rumble.com/ I think Destiny, right? Yeah, /Destiny/live. I think I'll automatically go there. There you go. Switch over. Okay, boom, boom. Yep, stay mad. I love you, YouTube chat. I need to do my Rumble cutoff stream so they're gonna get mad at me. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Just click the button on top and it'll switch, you fucking morons. Okay, I'm moving over there. Be careful. I love you guys. Okay, he talks like a normal human being. This is the part where I show you a really funny meme, but it's not funny because I have to explain too much. You're not gonna get it. I don't want to show you now. No, I don't want to show you. Now I feel self-conscious. It's just not gonna be funny. Okay? Tell us about your day today. I asked you in the elevator, but pretend I didn't.
Oh, watch, if you turn on her microphone, it's not picking up anything.
Ooh,
Oh, shit.
hello.
Hello.
Sorry, there you go.
Yeah, my day was good. I went on Legal Vices, which is a pretty cool show about like law and legal stuff, and we discussed a case called about a woman, Karen Reed. She's the defendant. She's being accused of murdering her boyfriend, Boston cop. Likelihood is, however, I believe I think I just may have accidentally
You're fine.
flashed myself.
You're okay. You have like stuff on, right?
Yeah, I have. Of course. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Then you're
I was
fine.
wearing a bathing suit.
Don't worry. You're good.
Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, so we were talking about Karen Reed, and my opinion is that she is being framed by the people who murdered him, who I believe are Boston PD, and then also I think other agencies are involved as well. It's actually becoming quite a conspiracy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds wild.
It is wild. It is wild. Do you
you
want me to
think,
go into that more?
If you want to, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Karen, she was with her boyfriend, Boston police officer. They went to the bars, and at the bars, they ran into other Boston police officers, and they only kind of knew each other, even though they worked in the same place.
Okay.
But they got invited to the party, like an after party at a cop's house. Karen didn't want to go, so she dropped off her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, and then hours later, after she dropped him off, she had left him like. She had called him excessively, like, where are you? Why aren't you home? Yada, yada. And then she calls other people at the party and asks, like, oh, have you seen John? Where's he? Da, da, da. So she goes over to one of the girls, Jennifer McCabe, was at the party, goes over to her house, picks her up, goes over to another woman's house named Carrie, and they drive around, look for the body, find the body. Karen Reed eventually gets charged with the murder. They say that as she dropped him off at the house, she did a 3-point turn and killed him. But it really doesn't make sense with the evidence because he has like dog bites all over his arm. There was a German Shepherd in the house. He looked like he was knocked out by Mike Tyson. Like both his eyes are black and blue. He has a large gash on the back of his head. So But everyone at the party testified that, or at least told police that he didn't even walk into the house. So the prosecution theory is that he died right as she dropped him off. But if he didn't walk into the house, how did he get dog bite marks? And also his cell phone data shows that he was traveling up and down stairs with geo data and all that sort of stuff. So everything is coming together to make it appear like she's been framed and evidence has been planted and all
And
sorts
the
of cool
prosecution and the police officers, it's like,
Yeah.
I think you said like 11 people at least
stuff. In the party, there were at least 11 people.
need to be working together to make this frame happen.
There would be like at least 30 people. Would
Okay,
have
well,
to be
last night you said
working.
11, so now you make me sound stupid.
No, 11 people at the party.
Okay.
At least 30 people working together
Gotcha.
because outside, because you have people who weren't at the parties. For instance, Proctor, Trooper
Okay.
Proctor. He's the main person investigating the case. He's a state trooper, and in my opinion, he planted evidence, a lot of evidence. For instance, the tail light. They're claiming that she broke her tail light when he died. And they took the body, they pronounced him dead, they removed the body, and then hours later, as he was driving by, he happened to see a taillight glistening in the snow, even though it had been heavy torrential snow. And so, in my opinion, he just planted the taillight at the location in order to make her appear like she hit him.
Jeez.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be wild.
It is going to be wild. I mean, defense, it has been asking for all this evidence. Prosecution hasn't been turning over any evidence. It's been 15 months. And the federal district attorney is, well, not district, the federal attorney is trying to prosecute him as well. Or not her, but is prosecuting all the people that the defense is claiming is guilty. So federal...
You said they called like a grand jury.
Yeah, federal grand juries against, the police officers in the house and people involved in the house, while the state is prosecuting her. So opposite sides. It's very interesting.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. But I'm kind of a little bit read it out.
Read it out?
Yeah, we talked about Karen Reed a lot today.
Okay.
A lot of murder, a lot of conspiracy, a lot of bad actors.
Wow.
What did you do today?
I've just been like talking to people, watching YouTube videos, not much going on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have an argument with anyone today? Any conflicts?
My wife, Melina, went on the Valuetainment people?
Mm-mm.
Oh, like Adam Sosnick or whatever. She went on one of their shows, so we watched them fight for a while. We did that
that's
for a couple
fun.
hours, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fun. Your wife's beautiful.
Duh.
Duh. Yeah. Yeah. Miami's been nice. It's hot as shit. Really like it.
Oh yeah, you like the muggy weather. You said
Yeah.
you like the weather here more than Laguna Beach.
I do. Yeah, it's like always hot. You can walk outside and you'll know it's hot. Whereas Laguna Beach, it could be kind of brisk sometimes. You might need a jacket.
Are you a big swimmer?
Yeah, I like to swim. I'm good at, not as good at swimming as anyone at Laguna Beach High, but I'm a pretty good swimmer compared to the average population.
Do you have a strategy tomorrow for Fresh and Fit?
Oof.
I know 4 people at least going on tomorrow.
Seriously?
I have 2 friends, Aaron and Pixie. Aaron is a little crazy.
Was that the contrarian on whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another guy called Zerka, who's a flat earther. You'll probably
Love
like
that.
him. Yeah.
I love that for
You guys
him.
probably align on 95% of things.
That's not true if he's a flat earther.
Okay, 94% of things. And then there's you. Yeah, and then Fresh and Fit. That's going to be a wild episode. Is the MLD guy going on tomorrow?
Who?
MLD? He's like a guy that was a blue suit. He was on the Whatever podcast.
We don't get at least I don't get to know these things because I'm small fish. So they don't tell me things. They just say, show up at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I get. So that's what I'm doing.
Damn.
Yeah. What did you think when you went on? Did you have fun?
I always have fun. But I like fighting with people, so.
Did you have a strategy going in, or was it more relaxed because you knew these people, you knew that?
No, I always have strategies, I think. I'm a very strategic person, I'm always making moves in life and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you? Do you are you normally really argumentative on these panels? Are you kind of quiet or what?
I try to speak up because it's important. If I'm gonna go to one of these places, I might as well get my voice heard. That being said, I really don't want to talk over people, and I don't want to. Yeah, I just don't like that look. I don't know.
Don't you run into problems when you're on panels where you never get to talk, basically?
If that's the case, it sounds like a really terrible panel. I don't know.
Well, because most people, like if you've got like 9 or 10 people on a panel, they're gonna be like fighting for airtime.
I feel like I feel like I'm always the one who kind of
Fills in.
Speaking.
Okay.
I always have something to say. People were saying last time I was on whatever that I was talking too much. That was like the big issue was Lauren needs to shut the fuck up.
What were you, wait, does anybody have a link to her last performance or whatever?
To what? Legal Vices or to whatever podcast?
To whatever podcast. I'm so curious what were your mate? Jesus, sorry. People just link shut on me. I'm sorry, hold on. I totally forgot there's a person here. People link a lot of porn in my chat. I just tend to click it. Will autopilot. Ignore that. God, edit in. You know better. You're not supposed to be posting this shit while I'm streaming. The f is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Okay.
She's hot.
Yeah, thanks.
You got that going for you.
She's no, he doesn't even. He just posts women with fake booties. Okay, don't care about this. Don't care about this.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago, and I recognize the thumbnail when I see it.
Of what?
The episode I was on. Oh, there we
What do
go.
I rate myself as?
Yeah.
Wait, did you rate somebody a 3?
I did.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I gotta watch this. 1 sec.
Like 6.9 on a good day.
Oh.
Okay, do you feel like a lot of the time?
Wow, Why don't you dress up like this for my stream? What is this? Oh my God, you look like you give a f here. You did your hair. You're boobing out. Oh my God. Okay, whatever. It's all good. I now I know where I'm at on the totem pole. Okay. All right.
Okay, do you feel like a lot of the times, not this panel, no one called themselves a 10, but I do feel like a lot of the times this show will bring in like
I'm about to
kind of
spit on the mic.
7s or
Wait, before you do, I want to ask you a serious question because I'm a little serious. Because you want to do trial lawyer. You've been in a lot of male-dominated spaces. Do you think a lot about your intonation or how you sound? Like, have people ever told you like you have like a Valley Girl kind of sound or whatever?
Has anyone ever told
me? I'm trying to be polite, okay?
Oh my God, only every day.
Okay.
I do try. I have to consciously think about it to avoid doing the vocal fry. Like, I really have to consciously think about it. And when I hear myself back sometimes and I hear my fry, I want to just strangle myself. So I just try not to like rewatch myself. That's how you go through life. Just keep going forward and pretend like the past never existed.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just curious.
And I'm about to spit on the mic. It's super cringe in this clip. So.
You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Guys like that.
bring in like kind of 7s or above, and then they call themselves 10s, and we scoff at that.
7s and above? You sure about that one?
Most of the time.
I don't know. Sometimes they be lower than 7s, claiming 10. But go ahead with your point. What's go ahead.
I just like, and we scoff and make fun of that. So just like, what makes you a 6? Like, what makes you the level of a 6? Like
Me personally, like my own self-assessment of my. Are you wanting me to articulate?
Yeah, like what makes you better than over 50% of men that are available and some?
Wow.
You're 6. You're not just 5.
Well, I mean,
6.
I could certainly be wrong. How I think that's just my own self-assessment. I think and I'm not saying it to be cocky. I don't think I'm a 10, but
You're not.
if 5 is the average, I think I'm perhaps maybe slightly above average.
You go to the gym?
Do I go to the gym? I've been eating kind of shit, so I need to lose like 10 pounds. I got a little belly here, you know, so
Oh, no.
I'm rocking a bit of a dad bod, but
How does the beard factor into that?
I like how, I'm sorry, this is very funny to me. Did you watch My Friend Get Kicked Off?
Yeah.
She did that exact thing where when you ask a question like, do you go to the gym? He's like, do I go to the gym? That's what I said. Yeah, that's just funny to me, sorry.
He can't kick himself off though.
True.
That number.
the beard
Yeah, the beard. You got it
into the
now.
number.
Yeah.
You know what? Isn't there some YouTuber who like does like face ratings, wheat waffles? Do you know? Oh, didn't you do something with wheat? Wait, I'm trying to think.
I didn't, but I've seen what you're talking about.
You know who I'm
like
talking about? Yeah. He does like the face like breakdown, like the fucking
symmetry,
the epicanthal folds and or what does he fucking talk about? He talks about like he's a good guy, but I'm trying to think what he talks about.
It's like facial symmetry
flustered.
or bone structure or something like that, or.
Okay, so I still my hair isn't totally gone yet, so I guess that's
It's
good.
full of
at least for
dandruff.
my age, I reckon.
What is?
His hair.
Blue
Oh my
eyes,
god, you
got the
be
baby
not
blues.
chill.
No, I'm like
Oh
mad
my
at him.
god.
He like really pisses me off.
Oh,
Like,
I have
he's-
dandruff now. You're making me nervous. Jesus.
No,
oh my
you're not
god.
anywhere near him. But go
Okay,
ahead.
chill. Hold on. We are not here to shame. I will not let you attack my fellow brother, my fellow bearded brother.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My
Go ahead.
blue-eyed, brown-haired bearded brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who doesn't go to the gym?
Okay. Chill. He has neck pain. Okay. Chill. He's gonna hop in Discord and start to roast you if you're not careful. All right.
Yeah, he probably has neck pain from all the men he's necking.
Okay. Stop! Oh my god. Hello.
The long eyelashes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't think I'm an exceptionally good looking, but I think I'm decent. I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Big nose probably. I got big nose, so that probably takes off I don't know, a point or two, and then I'm pale, super pale, and I've got my hands kind of shake because I haven't eaten anything today. And I didn't eat much today.
You've got this guy in like a depressive spiral right now. Jesus Christ.
I have dainty hands.
He does.
I think if I had big muscular man hands that were thick and fat, that'd be like an extra 0.5. But I got these gamer hands, you know, fucking
You know
my
how you
micro.
Get muscles?
What's that?
You know how you get muscles though.
Sex?
The gym.
Huh?
The gym. That's how you get the muscles.
Yeah, but like some people just genetically, for example, my dad.
Oh, wait, can I say something? When you stream, do you ever have a monitor in?
Never.
When I say monitor, I mean like you hear your headphones or whatever?
Never.
Okay. If I can give you one suggestion, if you want to do YouTube stuff, you should always stream with a monitor, because one thing it'll train you to do is like, I don't even have to think about it. When I'm on shows, I'm always speaking into the mic. And when you notice how when you lean away, especially from that SM7B, when you get away from that mic, it's very, 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 very hard to hear your voice. It's even more exaggerated than this. But yeah, I would recommend streaming that just so you're used to speaking right, especially because you've got like a softer timbre to your voice. It benefits you a lot, right? Like speak into it and then like lean to the side.
Hello.
And then like talk over there.
Ooh, yes, I could hear the
It's
difference.
way different. Yeah, just as a heads up. But okay, sorry, go ahead. All right.
He's a software engineer. He doesn't exercise. He doesn't lift. He's got fucking man hands, like big, fat, meaty, strong man hands, and I got these dainty. What?
My God.
This
I
goes
got
on.
these dainty gamer hands for
You
like
broke
playing the
him with
piano
this
and
one
shit. Like, I
question.
could bust out some Chopin, but I ain't about to like do 9 hours of physical labor in the fields.
So my point being is a lot of this show is scoffing at women who think that they are prettier than they are, and then I rarely see us turn it around on the men. And like, I'm sure you're a nice guy and you have a great show, but
He's not.
I wouldn't say like.
Can I give you the guy's version of that?
Sure.
The delusional women thinking they're a 10. The man version of that is men who declare themselves an alpha male. I think that is comparable.
They were asking about looks, though.
Well,
But
Well, I
alpha
think
male is not just
Lauren
about
was
looks.
about to say that
talking
I'm actually not a 6, but go ahead, Lauren.
No, that you got it. You got the point.
Well, go ahead, say it
I
for
finished
yourself.
it. I finished my thought. But
Well, you didn't because John came in, but go ahead.
Thanks, John. You saved me. Saved by love, John.
Go ahead.
I finished my. Okay, my point being, I don't know if I would. Yes, I don't know if I'd qualify you as a 6, and I do feel
Oh.
like why would you scoff at women who are incorrect about their beauty? Like I don't understand.
What do you rate me, just out of curiosity?
Oh gosh.
If I'm not a 6, what do you? I mean, we could also ask the chat too. Chat, do you guys want to rate me? Go ahead.
Yes, let's let the chat.
Let's
you
let
want
some-
me to rate you?
Yeah, what do you rate me?
I think. Okay, first of all, I think you're very kind, but we have to go based off just looks.
Just
right?
looks.
Like a 4, 3 or 4.
3 or 4. And what do you rate yourself?
I said a 3.
You're a 3? I don't think you're a
said
3.
in Ohio, and I said a 7 LA.
Okay, just forget the fucking bullshit geographic shit.
Bullshit
What
geographic?
do you rate yourself on a scale of 1
Like
to
a
10?
5 or 6.
Okay. You know what's funny is actually I would say, you know, I don't know if any of you have seen this on TikTok. there's this app that like makes you like the male version of you, and it's something like, if you wouldn't date, like, and often you see girls doing this, if you wouldn't date the male version of you, your standards are too high.
Yes, but that app, the face changing, is literally, it's not even altering your features to make you look like a man. It's like a stencil app where it's just like applying another man's face over your face. So that app doesn't even actually turn you into the male version.
Wow,
of
look
yourself.
at you with your app
Something
knowledge.
like
Nice
that.
job.
How does he not
know
The
that?
male filter on yourself, because I know the female filter on myself doesn't make me just look like a more feminine woman. It makes me look like a different woman. You know what I mean? It's not just mass.
Wow.
Let's ask the chat, who's more attractive, me or Lauren? Who's more physically attractive? Or are we looks equivalents? Because I was gonna say, just looking at you, I actually think there are some similar to some degree. I mean,
Are you Irish?
no, but I would say we're to some degree, I would consider us,
Brother, sister?
no, I would say we're kind of to some
Look
degree
similar?
comparable looks-wise, I think.
Okay.
You'd
But
be
you think
wrong,
you're more attractive
Brian.
than me,
You'd
that's
be
totally fine,
wrong.
fair enough. I'm not for everybody.
They said
But,
Lauren is
Well,
effing
you know,
hot.
Sitting next to me, everyone looks better.
Yeah,
of course.
chat, are we on?
no.
Tony Hawk.
No, I'm Tony Hawk.
I love Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk. What would you rate Tony Hawk?
Tony, he was like a child. I loved
He's
like
like-
watching the skateboarding growing up. I was really into him. And then I also had the Tony Hawk video game thing that was like on my PS. So I love Tony Hawk. Huge.
There's a reason I don't show my face on camera. No, I'm just
I haven't been reading the chat, but what's the chat been
You go like
saying?
7.
It's been saying Brian.
It's been saying 7. Brian. Yeah, you're a beautiful man.
Brian looks
apparently.
good. Brian's a 10.
But okay, so your
Yeah, that's what I'm
original
talking about, the
question is-
necking.
and
Jesus.
so
Did
you're
we even ask
but
him what number he is? Do we even get into that, or do we just
Well, we
completely
can, but
skip
I-
over him? Like, do men not
well
matter?
the original question was ask the ladies to rate themselves on looks to 10. But if you want to try to deflect from where I'm about to go with this conversation, we can pass it to John really quick. If what do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
well, I mean,
If you want to
whatever.
delay my rebuttal, but go ahead.
I mean, what is Tony Hawk? I mean,
Tony
apparently
Hawk.
he's my doppelganger. So I mean, you know.
Do you have a skateboard on you?
You know what? I don't have a skateboard on me, but I would say, you know, above average. I would think. I mean, 6, 7, something like that, possibly. But you know, I mean, I don't show my face on camera for a reason, you know.
Fair. Okay, so you're. I think the difference is though, and I guess your qualm is because you think I've rated myself higher than how you view me. And perhaps you're right. Perhaps I'm not a 6. Hold
Socrates
on.
donated $99. False equivalence there, lawyer. We don't scoff at women who
This
merely
is what I
rate
was about to say.
themselves inaccurately. We scoff at women who default to saying they're 9 or 10 purely based on this self-generated notion they have that they're inherently high value.
Sure. So I mean, let's give. By the way, Black Socrates, thank you for the
Bailing him
donation.
out.
Appreciate it. So
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between someone being within the margin of error of a rating, so either plus or minus a point. So perhaps I'm a 5, right? My self-assessment is a 6. I think that's within the margin of error. Now we're getting kind of, hold on, we're getting fucking a little nerdy with this shit. Hold on. With the fucking math.
This is so complicated. Does he know that you're
the difference is
a
when
math goddess?
He does. We discussed that briefly.
Uh huh.
He doesn't really seem to.
Doesn't
Yeah.
care that much. Doesn't
Yeah.
defer. You probably know what all of these
Well, they're not hard, and we actually got into
X
that.
minus Y.
Right, or E equals MC squared. Have you never heard that
Oh
before?
my
or
god,
Y?
that's like hardcore math stuff. A plus B.
Right.
Wow.
Exact. A equals 1/2 base
B-
times height.
Yeah. Oh my
Oof,
goodness.
never gonna figure that one out. X squared. How do you do a squared?
fucking maths and shit. But the difference is when a girl who's like a 6 or a 7, she thinks she's a 10. Because if a girl says she's a 6 and I think she's a 5, I'm not calling that out. But if a girl who's a 6 says she's a 10, who says she's on par with the most beautiful women in the world, that's where I'm like, you're delusional. So I think there's a difference there. I think it's the degree, you know, if you're within, again, the margin of error, that's one thing. But if we have below average women come on the podcast saying, I'm a 10. I'm on par.
Not to
with-"
blow anybody's spot up here, but like, the whole number thing feels like really silly, or
So just
like there are certain types of
unbelievably
people,
dumb.
like there are girls that there are men would die for that I think are hideous, and there are girls that I think are really attractive that a lot of people are like, oh, that girl's like disgusting. Like there's going to be like a range, obviously, where like most people will find certain types of men and women like attractive, but I think there's like a decent, like I'm of the mindset that anybody that cleans up properly, so haircut, clothes that fit, decent posture. You don't even have to go to the gym, really. Like just like clothes that fit, decent posture, and your hair and your facial is cut up. This can at least be a 5 or 6. That's like my general feeling of it.
Have you ever been to the red light district in Amsterdam?
Unfortunately, yes.
Did you do a tour or something?
Oh no, we just walked through it, but it felt. I hate like prostitution. It feels really sad to me.
It does feel really sad, but you saw like the women in the glass boxes, and there's a wide variety of them, and they all charge the same price. And I mean, men, they all make money. So, you know, and you get your choice of the litter. So it's not like, you know, any man can go in there and choose any one of them. So if they're all making money, then it really just goes to show that men will f anything, but also that men have a wide variety of preferences.
Sure, yeah, I agree. My gym take also, if you're obese, you probably should go to the gym. Just a heads up, guys. Okay, all right.
With the most beautiful.
What do you think of that Gorlock person?
Is that her actual name?
No, but everyone knows them as that now.
I didn't actually watch the episode. I just saw the memes where...
You knew instantly who I was talking about.
Well, yeah, because people made videos where as soon as she starts talking, the Jabba the Hutt voice comes out. Yeah, but I didn't actually watch the episode. I have no idea. Why? Did she rate herself a 10 or something?
Yes. A big fat 10 is what they said.
Wow.
Yeah, that was poor choice of wording.
Okay.
Speaking of people who don't talk very much, though, this girl on my right, Xenia.
Your left?
Well, okay.
Stage left, yeah.
Yeah. I thought she was really, she didn't say like almost a word, but she was really beautiful, really smart, had a lot to say. So
Yeah, a lot of girls go on this show and they don't say much. I noticed that like it probably has to do with like socialization of women thing, but you can talk over women a lot and they will always shut up.
Me?
Like women in general. Like they won't, like when you're on shows and you keep talking, like all the women will always be quiet. And it's kind of sad because they're like, if you're a woman and you go on these shows, I don't know if it's because you're like socialized, not you, but like women in general, well, I guess it would apply to you as well, are socialized to be a little bit more quiet or like make space for other people. But like men will fight for so much airtime, and it's very rare that a woman will fight. Like, let me finish, or I want to finish my point, or let me do this. Like you almost never hear a woman say that, you know? But you know.
Interesting.
So sometimes you get on these shows where the woman will show up and they'll say like 2 words, and some of these women will like fly from out of town to be on these shows. So I'm like, why would you say nothing?
Like, okay, these two, they're both
Women
Russian friends. The girl in the red and the girl in the yellow, they're both friends. They came together. They had to travel to be there, and like neither one of them really said much, but both of them were very smart. I follow both of them now on social media and still talk to them. Smart
World.
girls.
I'm on par with lingerie models, runway models, magazine models, the most beautiful women in the world. That to me is delusional. That's where we scoff. I don't scoff at a girl who's a 5 who says she's a 6. Go ahead. Sorry, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Bads_X donated $100. It's a scoff because a lot of women that come on have a self-inflated ego because of makeup, angles, lighting, and filters that thirsty simps in the DMs gas up, when in reality they are very mid or lower.
I don't know how to explain this, but there is something to be said for people that like obsess over how other people view themselves. I've noticed this. That like, so it might come for like people criticizing my relationship. We're like, oh, like they're like obsessed over it. Or like when a woman says like, oh, like I can be fat and healthy, right? Like when I see people like this, I'm thinking like, okay, you're a dumb fuck. But like, that's it. But people that are like, I need to go online and type all day about like all these delusional women is blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? You sound like unhinged.
Yeah.
I feel like that obsession is like, there are a lot of girls that rate themselves too highly, probably. There are probably men that do it too. But like you see it and it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of cringe. A lot of people have like overinflated sense of ego and then you move on from it. I think it says something about you if you're really ultra obsessed with it though, you know? Like I think that like...
That's the whole show. That's this
yeah,
whole
no,
show.
I know, yeah. I think it's telling sometimes what people get obsessed with. Like something that I think is really funny is, you know, like the health at every size movement, right?
Oh my God.
So the health at every size movement is cringe.
So cringe.
That was the first time in the history of probably the world that men gave a fuck about women's health. Where all of a sudden guys were like, well, hold on, if you're a woman and you want to be within a healthy body weight and you want to make sure, I was like, when the fuck did you give a fuck about like, and have you ever heard of the concept of like the male gaze?
Yeah.
So it sounds really shitty, so I'm getting really feminist now, okay? But I truly do believe that when a lot of the criticisms that men give to women ultimately boil down to, when you dissect them enough, is I really want you to look more fuckable to me. I think that's what it all boils down to, right? Because if I see like a fat dude, I don't know, it's a fat guy. And if I see a fat woman, it's a fat woman. But these girls see a fat woman and be like, you need to be thinner. You're not being very healthy right now, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, when the fuck did you ever care about women's health? Like, how is it a thing? But it's because they look in a way that I think is unappealing to them. And I think they feel like it gives them a right to have an opinion about it.
Right. Like when women were going through like the cigarette heroin chic phase where men
Sure.
like, oh my God, you like, that's not good for you. How are you going to be able to carry a baby if you're so skinny? Like that, I don't think that ever really occurred. So.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. I feel the same way too about like, I feel really strongly about that and like OnlyFans to where like there is this phenomenon on Twitch I noticed where you can watch games with sex scenes in them.
Okay.
And so we can joke about porn and like all the sexy shit or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I could watch a sex scene with The Witcher 3 and that's all funny and everybody's chilling. But if a woman went on Twitch and cosplayed one of the women that were sexy, everybody had a problem now. And I noticed that like a weird thing seems to happen. I don't have like a formal theory for this, but like a weird thing seems to happen when more of the agency moves over to the woman's side. People have a really big problem with it. I feel like I grew up with porn being, I started watching porn when I was like 12, okay? Porn was like a super normalized thing for so long. I have never heard guys be angry, like, we need to get rid of porn. That was only for the crazy religious people. But once women started making money on OnlyFans, now it's like the most important problem in the world. Now all these guys are like, we got to talk about porn. It's a huge problem. All these women are making way too much money on OnlyFans. Porn is destroying men's lives.
Are they
Where
even
were you?
making that much money on OnlyFans?
Some of
or is
them
it
are.
just the perception that they're making money on OnlyFans?
I would say they're making a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah. Here's my opinion. And if
Because
you're a girl out there,
you know top tier women though.
here's my opinion. OnlyFans is not a place where you become rich. OnlyFans is a place where you go to get rich after you're famous somewhere else.
Yes.
So if you have over 500,000 followers on TikTok, if you go to OnlyFans, you're making $20K a month minimum.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're starting from nothing at OnlyFans, you try really hard and you hustle, you might make like maybe $1,000 a month. But if
Yeah.
you're reasonably famous anywhere else, reasonably, I don't mean you have to be like a top 10 YouTuber, but like if you got like 100,000 subs on YouTube, you got like 100,000 followers on Twitch. Do you have 100,000 subs on YouTube?
I have 3,000.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well, you're on the way. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be following. Don't worry.
Ooh.
But yeah, if you get there, yeah, you can go to OnlyFans or Fansly, and that's where you like cash out hard on your rep.
I would never want to do that though. Like I'm so close to my well, I'm not like super close to my parents, but I'm close enough where I call them almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if my dad ever even found like, okay, I have haters, and my first week on YouTube, somebody made a video compilation of women who look similar to me who do porn, and then titled it "Lauren DeLaguna caught doing porn."
Oh no.
And then my dad, I was like, oh, Dad, I started this YouTube channel. Like, support me. I love you. And so he looks up Lauren DeLaguna, and the first video that comes up is Lauren DeLaguna caught doing porn. And it was horrible because, like, just him even... He couldn't even look at the thumbnail long enough to recognize it wasn't me. Like, it freaked him out so much. And we had a conversation. I was like, of course I never did that. I would never do that to you. I'd never do that to the family. So, I couldn't do it. I don't understand. Do you think these women on OnlyFans have, like, extremely unhealthy relationships with their father?
So this is I've tried to look this up before. I read a big article on this. Apparently there's no difference between people in the sex industry and people out with like relationships to parents. There's like a stereotype of like these girls are all from broken families. But if you really truly think about it, no, I don't know in your case because you're the fucking richest fucking woman on the planet apparently.
I'm really not.
But like if you talk to like a lot of millennials and Gen Zers and shit, like everybody has a problem with their parents, right? Like I don't feel like there's this huge like reservoir of women where you talk to them like, oh yeah, like me and my mom and dad get along really great. We have an awesome family. Like it seems like most people are like, yeah, my mom or dad was kind of an asshole. Or oh yeah, we had like these problems, blah, blah, blah. It seems like pretty normal if people have a problem with their parents.
Okay.
Just in my experience, but.
Well, that's just sad. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But yeah, but anyway, I the broader point, I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but it feels like when the money starts to move over to like I never ever in my life heard somebody say, I hate how much money like, fuck, I don't remember the old porn stars' names. Riley Reid.
That's what everyone... That was part of the compilation video.
Oh,
fucking
shit.
Riley
There you
Reid.
go.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because I
Okay.
used to have bangs.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I don't ever remember somebody being like, I hate that fucking Riley Reid made all of her money on porn. Or I hate that these women get so rich doing porn. Like, nobody thought that. But nowadays, everybody thinks about OnlyFans girls. And it just makes me wonder, like, if it was an agency running the girls and well, actually, I'm right. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. You ever watch House?
Yeah.
I just had a house moment. I literally, I would be running out of the room right now with my diagnosis.
So it's the last 5 minutes of the episode is what you're telling me?
Yeah. It is actually the problem. The problem is that the women are making the money. You know how I know this? Because the exact same cohort of men that hate OnlyFans girls applaud the Tates for running their webcam business. And they would openly and blatantly talk about scamming men to make money. Have you seen Tristan talk about that?
Yeah.
Where he's on the couch and he's saying like, we would get these guys lie about going to the embassy. Yeah, and all the guys are like, bro, like make money. None of these people come out against Andrew and Tristan Tate. But I bet if it was a woman talking about it, ooh.
I hear you, and that's a possibility, but I think the issue with OnlyFans is more so that it's just so, like, it's so personal. It's like, just like I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook, I have Twitter. I could have an OnlyFans. I do not, I repeat, I do not, but I could. And so when I meet you, like, it's so, you know the people that you're following. Usually with porn, you don't know Riley Reid.
That's part of the allure of OnlyFans. I agree. But I will say,
I also think that's part of the problem. That's part of I've read stories about, stepfathers following their stepdaughters on OnlyFans and ruining the family. Like, I just don't think that happens.
There are creepy stepparents that do that shit, even if your daughter doesn't do porn, right? Like, how many stories are there where like stepdaughter finds that she has a fucking camera in her fucking shower from her creepy stepdad and like weird shit like that? Like, it happens. It's shitty. But like, I agree with you that that's part of the allure. But I would say, at the expense of costing my own career, I would say that probably one of the larger aspects of parasocial relationships is actually probably streamers. Like, I've been really busy the past few weeks. When I don't stream for like 2 days, these guys go fucking crazy. They like lose their mind. They're like in chat, like, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm so bored. I don't know what's happening. If I show up in chat, like, Destiny, stream. It's like, I'm coming, my children, okay. But like, yeah, I'm just saying, okay, there's a lot of parasocial shit out there because people are having harder times like finding friends and shit in real life or whatever. But because like, if I were to tell you that like, oh, like let's say I were to break the stat out. I don't know if this is real or not, but let's say that it was the fact that only 2% of women sold personal chats on OnlyFans. Do you think anybody's opinion would change? Do you think most guys are like, oh, well, if only 2% of women are selling chats, then that's fine. 98% is okay.
I don't know what you mean by selling chats because that's how much I don't have OnlyFans.
Like, a lot of people get mad at OnlyFans because like, well, it's way different because the girls will pretend to be your girlfriend for chatting.
Oh.
However, even now when I think about that, people never seem to have problems with escorts.
Or actually, aren't those
strippers?
The phone call lines? There's
or
always
the phone
phone call lines.
Yeah. And on a lot of those, I always used to think this was a meme, but I've talked to 4 different women that have done escort work. And 3 of them have told me this. The 4th one was really young. 3 of them have told me this, that it is actually quite common that you do get men who are looking more for companionship than just somebody to fuck. Like, it's pretty rare as an escort. Yeah, I know. Yeah, because they're looking. It's like older white dudes that like are just kind of lonely.
But there is a real problem with male loneliness these days. I mean, it's expanding.
I agree.
It's getting really horrific.
Yeah, I do agree with that, and I think it's a problem. But I think it's interesting that we seem to really care now that women have found a way to capitalize on the OnlyFans model. Now it seems like people are really fucking mad about it, whereas before it was just kind of like a problem in society. This is a feeling I get.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, you could see it. I don't know. The reason that I thought, I already expressed it, but it's just too close to home. Like, that's why I think people are freaking out about OnlyFans, because it's like, oh, it's my neighbor, it's my coach, it's my teacher, it's my...
Well, if that was the case, that's like, yeah. Why did race matter there? I'm pretty sure older white men are the most at risk for suicide, except for Native men in all ages. I think it's older white men tend to be the highest group of suicidal people. Which, in my guess, is going to be the highest group of people that utilize like escorts and strippers and stuff. That'd be my guess. I could be wrong, but... Okay.
If I said I was a 10, that's like, bro, that's like me saying I'm on par with Brad Pitt when he was in his mid-20s. And he's also been a fucking babe, and like, he's still a fucking babe.
Yeah, he next dudes.
10s get modeling contracts.
Chill. Destiny, dumb take, though. People care about women's self-assessment because it directly correlated to the dating market, which Red Pill is concerned with, and people care about OF now because it's not just an erotic performance, it's women capitalizing on mental illness epidemic. I understand what you're saying. I just disagree. The Red Pill ideology is that like a woman will go on OnlyFans and get like an inflated sense of self and like never date a normal guy again. I just don't think that happens. I've never seen any data to point to it. Anecdotally, it seems retarded, but I don't know. You can speak on that if you want.
I don't agree. Like, I don't think that women are just like going on OnlyFans and then having a bunch of followers and then being like, I'm too hot for
or
real
Instagram
men.
People say it happens. Yeah.
I do think, however, that one super chat that came up on the Whatever podcast about filters in makeup though is a good point.
That's really bad. the Facetune shit and everything.
It's so bad for your mental health, especially, okay, when you go to like CPAC type events and you meet people who, you know, they have like a persona, but they only use like an avatar and it's a picture of like a cute blonde girl.
Yeah.
And then you meet them and they're like a morbidly obese, like brunette with like shitty blonde bleach, you know, you're like, what the who's this? And I don't know.
I've kind of like, fuck, I feel like I'm gonna piss off somebody I'm currently talking to or something. But like, I don't know if most guys have hit this point yet, but like when I get a picture of a girl, if it's an avatar, I automatically assume you're 400 pounds. And if the picture is like super fucking, girls do this thing where they think they're clever, where if they have bad skin, they like, you do something where you lighten the whole picture up like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I assume that you have like literally like crater of the moon acne if I see that. So like if you're a woman and you're trying to do that, I just assume you're fucking hideous, just as a thing. And also I've seen women that do that, and then when I actually see them in person, I'm like, your skin is fine. I don't know why you're like, it'll be like they'll have like one thing, like either a weird mole or like some like a little bit of acne scar, but it's like you're like,
sometimes they'll just like a picture even if it's a little bit washed out. And so
well, no, I'm talking about the women that intentionally crank the fuck out of that washed out shit to like try to hide imperfect things on people's faces. Or there was I don't know if it happens as much in porn, but there used to be things where like women would post pictures and shit and they would airbrush their shit so hard they don't even have pores on their fucking skin anymore. I'm like, bro, you look like a plastic wax doll. Or sometimes girls would do like, well, they'll do angles from the side, but they'll like erase like the line of like their, and I'm like, bro, what am I even fucking looking at right now? Like oh my God. Yeah, I don't know, it's cringe. But whatever. Or the ones that'll touch up and get rid of all their stretch marks on every single part of their body. It's like, it's Jesus.
I just refuse. Like, that's one of my main things. I refuse to touch up any photos of me. So any photo that you see on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, it will not have any filter on it or touching. I refuse because I think it's not only bad for me, but I think it's bad for anyone who follows me.
Yeah. Oh, you just thundered, right?
Yeah.
I agree. It's hard for me to say as a man, obviously, because I have nothing at stake. But I wish that there are so many popular women that are so beautiful who would do fine. They would probably get a little bit of flack for significantly reducing the amount of makeup they wear or like not face tuning the fuck out of all their shit. But like, it would be really admirable if they just bit the bullet on it a little bit and like have some guys make some shitty comments, but like at least show that like it's okay to look like a normal fucking human being and normalize it a little bit more, rather than the expectation is if you're gonna enter these arenas, like you better be like a Facetune fucking pro. Have you ever seen somebody that works Facetune before? Oh my God, dude. I went out with this group of people once, streamer world shit, and we all went out, we hung out, we did things, we took pictures. As soon as we got back home, bro, I remember because I was going to post a picture on Instagram because I'm like, oh, look, I have friends and I hang out with famous people, blah, blah. And the girl was like, hold on, like, let me see your shit real quick. And she took my phone and she's like, oh, you should check out Facetune. So she downloaded it and she's like, okay, this is what I would do to this picture. It was like, and in like fucking 10 seconds, I was like, what the fuck? She like changed everything.
You all looked like anime characters, like all perfect. Like,
I was like,
with
oh my
your
God.
eyes all
and
huge.
she's like, yeah, I would like make the head a little smaller here, lighten up this here, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God. And they do this with every single picture. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, they're all on the couch, like going through all their pictures. And I'm like, holy shit.
That's so cringe. But then, like, what if you wanted to invite them over live? How are they going to do that? It's not like you're going to filter them for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, some streamers now have live filters for their video. So they even,
but like if you invited these people over, like, hey, come on over, and they're just gonna have to say no because
it's like a hyper reality. Like they don't even care what they look like in real life, I don't think.
Yeah, no, they
like,
don't.
For instance, a lot of makeup looks for women that look good on camera, in real life they look fucking atrocious.
Yeah. So
oh my
I'm
God.
not gonna say someone on a podcast that I went on recently looked fucking hot, like really sexy on camera, but then like you see her in person,
it feels like if you slipped your thumb under here, you could peel off a whole mask. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't know this. I learned this like 3 or 4 years ago when I started seeing more women in real life that were on camera. And I'm like, yeah, because on camera you look perfect, but like in real life it looks like uncanny.
Because they, in order to make, like, for instance, your cheekbone, like the cheeks pop, like usually when you're doing your makeup, you blend everything really well so it blends into your skin, so it looks somewhat like your skin. Like, for instance, I'm wearing a ton of makeup right now, but it mostly looks like my skin. But what they do is they'll just put they just won't blend anything, and then on the camera will basically blend it for you, and then it just looks perfect. You look just like that, so like that Barbie doll that you're talking with no pores. It's like
and it's an insane. And now I know some of the things to look for because I listen to way too many of those ASMR makeup videos. But the But like you can see now when you look at a woman and then you like see some of their necklines and you can see like the 17 different shades of tone between like how much foundation do you have on? Like, oh my God, you're literally like a different ethnicity from the fucking Adam's apple up on your face. I'm like, oh my God.
Actually, though, I did go to a makeup store recently and I was like, I want you to teach me how to do that. Like I asked them.
So you can have your full slut face for a fucking...
I was like, can you teach me how to do that? And they just applied my makeup normally. And they're like, see, don't you look great? And I'm like, yeah, I look great. Thank you. I think you have to be like, you have to really learn how... I don't even know where you would go to learn how to apply your makeup like that.
You can probably literally learn...
YouTube?
Oh my God, yeah, you can.
Twitch.
Hold on. There's a Cope stream happening right now.
A what?
Cope stream, where people go to cry about their performance on other podcasts.
WMLD, L Saucecat.
This guy, wait, streamed 2 hours ago. Oh yeah. Wait, did he run from one podcast to go to, because this kid's got 1 million subs. Dude, this guy's whole existence got fucking annihilated on the last podcast. It was actually insane.
What happened?
Basically, a girl called him out for, this is one of those guys that go into chats and he types shit and he called her fat.
Okay.
And she tried to call him out. She's like, were you typing shit? And he's like, no, what do you mean? What did I even say? Or blah, 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 blah. And it was, wow.
Wait, he couldn't own that?
No.
Just own it. You called a bitch fat.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you would have just said, yeah, we might watch it if you want to. Hold on, wait.
Say I forgot, because there's so many fucking whales on the internet these days. I'm constantly calling fat people fat. You're just one of the bitches. I'm sorry I forgot.
True. Okay, let me, we're gonna...
We don't have to continue watching.
No, we do. No. I want to watch the end of this.
If you're a 10, why would you even wear makeup? I mean, I've done this interview on the street before, and many women have said they're 10s, and I guess they conflate it with confidence. If I am super confident, then that makes me a 10. But then there's also a beauty standard. There's obviously, just because I think I'm a billionaire, does that mean that my bank account reflects that? You know what I mean? There's certain just things that have to back up what you're saying.
As like something I don't like about these Red Pill spaces is I feel like they have the same conversation like
over and over.
Like we've been 2 years on Red Pill and we're still like, do you think body count matters more for a woman than it does for a guy? And it's like,
well, that's what made going on whatever podcast is really easy. I basically wrote down all of the questions. I only had to watch one prior episode.
Yeah, and you have like the whole agenda. I had the
whole thing, and then I knew exactly how to fuck with the number question. I knew how to fuck with because I heard people go like, oh, like I'm a, like LA this and a something else this, So I was like, I'm just gonna be ridiculous with that and be super obnoxious. Good luck with that.
Well.
Did you want to respond? Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, like, maybe for someone who really in love with her, she's a full 10, and for him, she's 10, and she's better than all others because he's in love with her.
That's beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but that still doesn't disprove the fact that we do have certain opportunities that come along with certain levels of beauty.
RIP's in the chat, boys. For Brian. Okay, let's move on from that. Did you want to respond, Lauren, or?
No, I mean, that really does make a lot of sense. Like, I get where you're coming from with the saying, okay, I'm a 9 or 10 and I'm in that difference. However, I do think that we could experience some nuance and recognize that at least you on this podcast do avoid asking the men that question, and then also, what I already said.
Also what?
Nice.
Oh, did you want to come in?
Oh, no.
Brought it home. Hard with that.
Okay.
I just wanted to point out, I think you're talking about almost like self-awareness because, like, if a woman, let's say she thinks she's a 10, she's actually a 7, but it doesn't even matter what, just like she thinks not the reality. And then don't you think that the reality will kind of slap her in her place at some point? Like she will realize that she is not as like old as she thinks she is. And if she doesn't realize that, that's not so much like inflated ego, but at least I would view it more as not having self-reflection.
I mean, I definitely think it's perhaps harder for women to have the self-awareness of their own physical attractiveness for a couple reasons. One, if you look at
Instagram,
and some people really aren't active on social media, but for example, if you look at a lot of girls' Instagram profiles, their friends are in the comments, gassing them up. Even like, let's be honest, even below average women, their friends are saying.
I don't like too that people will like cite like social media. It's like, I'm pretty sure women have always done this. Like when I was in high school, they're like, oh, you look so good and blah, blah, blah. Like it's not like Instagram is the first time it's happened.
Right. It's just the first time it's happened where where it's on display for all to see permanently.
Sure. Yeah, I guess, that's weird, but.
Yeah, no.
But then it's also like, because these guys also say things like, with Instagram, women are able to fuck so many guys now. And like historically speaking, I'm pretty sure women have been getting offered dick since they're like 11 years old.
Yes.
From basically every guy in their life.
Yeah.
Through all of human history.
Like this hasn't changed.
Yeah, but for a lot of guys, like, because I'll be interested, like a woman could fuck like 100 guys now because of like social media, and it's like a woman could always fuck 100 guys. Like go to the supermarket.
Like I don't go to. I didn't even get Instagram till recently, and I wasn't struggling.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure. Yeah.
Saying you're a fucking slay queen, you're a babe, you're a hot, 10 out of 10, you're perfect, blah, blah, blah. So their own female friends, their own peers are gassing them up. Guys really don't do that to their male friends on social media or some guys do, but like guys really aren't gassing.
Okay, so what he's about to do here, I don't think we're going to get in the clip, but he's going to pull up one of the girls on the panel. He's going to pull up her Instagram and then like go to the comment section and be like, see, look, proves my point.
Mm-hmm.
But he chooses a really fucking hot girl and a really fucking hot photo. It's like, yeah, that's what the comment section should look. Why don't we go to Ali Weezy's Instagram?
Sure.
Let's check out her comments.
Or go to any like male like fitness influencer. And it's all going to be like, oh, yeah, dude, you're ripped and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Them each other up in that same way. Guys.
And it's also all going to be guys. Never in the history of all of like fucking Instagram kind has a woman ever gone on and been like, oh my God, your quads are bulging. Or oh my God, your lats and your delts are like popping, dude. Like a woman has never, she might say you have nice forearms, but like never ever in the history of all of fucking fitness kind has a woman made that comment. It's always guys talking to other guys, you know? Yeah.
Right.
Typically are gonna like call out their friends more so. Like men and women kind of interact differently. Like men will bond by basically fucking roasting each other to death, whereas and then saying really nice things about them behind their backs. And then I think it's almost the reverse with women. Women will say really nice things to a girl to her face and then talk mad shit about her behind her back. Not all women here, but
I feel like guys gossip a lot too. Or I'm being honest, it might just be my industry. There's a lot of gossip from guys and girls.
So toxic.
Holy
so toxic.
Shit.
It's a very feminine industry, in my opinion.
Yeah, would that be your opinion?
That would be that's why I qualified it with, in my opinion.
Last thought.
I feel like in the lawyer industry, I feel like it's pretty toxic too. I feel like judges and attorneys and everybody's are like shit talking. And one of the, I tell this story a lot because
feminine, right?
I don't know if I'd say feminine, but I kind of thought that like, for court, it's like you go in and there's like a rigid process and like everything is kind of like by the books and there's like it's basically computer systems doing everything. And I was so shocked. I got a really bad speeding ticket and then I lost my license and then I got a bad pullover with a suspended license. So I'm going to court a few times in Kansas City and like I wear my little nice clothes and I go to sit there to keep trying to continue my case forever because I don't have money to take care of it. And I remember like the second person that came in, the judge told him that he didn't want to hear anything he had to say because of what he was wearing. And continued his case to send him out. And I was like, oh shit, can he do that? Is he allowed to do that?
I mean, like if you disrespect the court.
Yeah, I had no idea. And then like I remember I finally got like a traffic lawyer like 7 months later. Okay. And I remember he's like, you have to drive down for your actual appearance and we plead this down or blah, blah, blah. And I drive down to Kansas City. It's like a 3-hour drive from Ohio or something. I drive down and I meet the guy out in the hallway and he's like, hold on 1 second. I need to go in and see who the
prosecutor is?
The prosecutor is.
Yeah.
And he leans in and then he comes back and he's like, I'm going to ask to continue the case because this woman is a massive fucking cunt. I was like, well, really? I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, it's always really nice when you look and you see, like, for us, it was like you would open the file and you'd see who the prosecutor is and it wasn't, and a lot of the times it was wrong because like the prosecutors will switch cases, but you like open the file and you see a prosecutor you like and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
You just like call them up like, bro, like give me a deal. This client's driving me nuts. Like it's a dumb case. You're an idiot for even fucking taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and it was the same.
And then it works out. And then you have some asshole prosecutor and you're like, hello, sir. Like I'm here to talk on behalf of my client. Please be nice to me and don't call me, and here's why your case is deeply flawed because you're just wrong. Mm-hmm. And then they'll just look at you like,
tell it to a judge. You're just like, okay, like, going forward.
We were talking last night about the difference in judges, even on some of the TV shit we've seen, where there was that one guy that tried to represent himself. And he was saying like,
Daryl Brooks,
objection.
Grounds.
And that lady was like, well, I'm not going to allow you to do this right now. And excuse me, mister, you need to be calm and like blah, 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 blah. And then as opposed to like the Rittenhouse lawyer guy who's like, don't get brazen with me. Who's like, yeah, very hardcore or whatever. It's funny seeing the difference. It's like, yeah, there's so much character in the courtroom.
You can do that more with two attorneys though. You could tell an attorney, don't get brazen with me, I'll hold you in contempt. What are you going to do with fucking Daryl Brooks? Like, how are you going to hold him in contempt?
He was on, it was for homicide or something, right? Or murder or something? Or what was he?
He ran over a bunch of people at a Christmas parade with his car, murdered people.
So he's got nothing to lose. Sure, yeah. But, Jesus. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so this was him early. Bro!
The face.
Okay. So,
wait, is this the girl he called fat? Please don't let that be the girl he called fat. Cause
it's a lady who's probably a...
Okay, it's a fat girl
No,
who deserved it?
I wouldn't say it's a fat
Chunky
girl. It's like I like to... She's not even like chubber. She's like a little bit larger. But I don't know if I would call her fat. You'll see.
Okay.
Really matters is how that person has healed, and if they're willing to like listen to, you know, hey, like you need to work on this and this, and like being willing to work on that. But you know, not everyone's perfect, and everyone's going to deal with some sort of baggage.
Well said. MLD, last take.
I don't want a traumatized woman in my life.
So they're running down this stupid line of argumentation where I don't even heard this before, but trauma makes men better and trauma makes women worse. So it's better for a guy to experience a lot of relationships and have trauma to be a better man, but you want a woman who's like 19 who hasn't been traumatized by any relationships yet. Have you heard this take?
I have not, and it's retarded.
Okay, it's a super red pill take.
Okay.
Myron and all them believe it, and they're talking about it here. And now he's saying, yeah. So Adam gave his thing about like, oh yeah, like traumatized men are good because they're stronger for it, and
but women can't get stronger from trauma?
Never. No, they just get broken.
They just get broken.
Yeah.
Oh, like, cool.
And so he's saying, I don't want
any...
Oh, this is the one he calls fat.
History of trauma. I've dealt with those kinds.
I wouldn't say she's fat.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, maybe a little bit big. I wouldn't even call her chubber. That's
I think she's pretty, actually.
For sure, she's hot as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a fucking nutbags, and I don't ever want to deal with it ever again. I want to deal with a normal, mentally stable, healthy woman. So.
And you think you're normal? Exactly.
In what sense?
Well, do you think you have healthy habits?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Weren't you the same one who like fat shamed me like last week or so?
I don't know.
You think that's normal from a stranger to fat shame somebody?
I don't remember. Did I call you fat?
Oh,
Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what you were in the chat. You knew you were in the chat. Don't do that on camera.
I don't know.
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
that,
You have a
MLD, because
strange
you
way
were
of,
in the chat with your checkmark name doing that.
What was I saying?
Listen, it's okay if you want to do those things, but own up to what you do.
What was I saying?
I mean, women are apparently like CEO of not taking accountability, but I mean, I guess you should change your pronouns because I'd say you're kind of in the same bracket when it comes to that.
Ooh.
All right, I'll get right
I like
on that.
her.
And that's not masculine energy.
Just
masculine
saying.
energy owns
High value
up
men. Remember, I told you
to
that.
what
Don't
they
call
say.
people horse either.
I'm just saying.
On the last show
She's so cute.
Yeah, duh. On the last show that we were on, he called one of our friends. He was like, oh yeah, that girl's a hoe. And Melena called him out. She was like, that's not a high value man. Then you shouldn't call. And it wasn't even a girl that was on the show. He was just calling a random girl a hoe.
I mean, women can't handle criticism. I took that like a champ. That's fine. I'll take that. But I think you yourself as a man should probably work on that instead of saying that I don't want to traumatize women, because it definitely shows that
I don't want to traumatize women.
We don't want to traumatize men either. That's the thing. So
Okay.
that's why it's easier to go to Japan and find the konnichiwa type of girl, because they're not going to debate with you. That's the problem.
That's right. They're just robotic female slaves in Japan. They have no personalities.
It
They just
shows.
say konnichiwa.
Yeah, sumi-san, all that shit that you like. It's evident that you're used to women who don't check you when you're being irrational
Thanks.
and way out of place.
Thanks for the whole synopsis on the 37 years of my
It
life.
shows.
You've,
Well,
you've
age
derived
really
here
doesn't
in the
mean to
hour
a
and
lot of
half.
people. It shows like you could be. My grandma's 80 years old and still drives like shit. It doesn't matter how old you are. So I would have to say, you sound like somebody who really looks down on women with the way that. I mean, you even made a whole hit piece on that. I think that's weird.
I didn't make a hit piece on her.
This guy, you should really change your pronouns, because I could see that's not your best trait to actually own up to what you do, and I think that's really disgusting.
Why don't you sit in your masculine energy and maybe just apologize for what you said? I think that that's very masculine. I think that's a great way, because I feel like, number one, in a war, everyone thinks they're right?
Yes.
So I think that right now is a great opportunity for you to show that men can be masculine and have feelings, and can also regress and think back about what they said. Maybe in the moment you said it because you got excited or whatever, and you were just in this phase of yours, but I think sitting here in front of her, you're talking about that you want this wife and this submissive person and all of this, but where's your respect towards women?
Yes.
And don't you run like an entire male empowerment thing? Like, I think that's important that people look up to you. And you know what's funny? I actually subscribed to you prior to you doing that. I thought that was so out of pocket. And I was like, wow, like people like you, respectfully to anyone that's listening, this is why I stepped out of the red pill space, because you guys are so quick to demonize women in the West. But mind you, all of these girls have been working since we were old enough to work. A lot of us have to retire our families. But instead of people seeing that, you guys demonize women for masculine traits when we're also working just like you. And I mean, I don't expect respect, but like there was no beef and it was so unnecessary. And I think that's accountability that some people should take, but to each their own.
Yes.
Why did he call us that in the first place?
Because a lot of these guys will just go into these chats and just talk a ton of shit on their accounts. They do it. It's insane. There are like certain red pill guys that follow me around from show to show, and I'll see them typing in shit like, oh, Destiny, he's a cuck, blah, blah. They're just like talking shit in these chats. It's like the most, I don't like to say feminine. I like to say to make fun of them, but like, I don't even think it's not even, it's catty and shitty behavior. Like most women, but most women don't do that. I've never had in my life a woman follow me from chat to chat to chat, like typing shit like that. Only men have done that to me. But I mean, like, yeah.
I'm trying to think. I have had a woman do that to me.
You probably deserved it.
Probably did.
So what are you upset that I called you fat?
This is upset. This is upset.
Clearly.
This is addressing.
Well,
and
why don't you want to own up to what you said, though? Why are you denying it?
And if anything, we're kind of built the same, which is funny, dude. We're like, I mean, come on, man. You can't be sitting there acting like we're like, oh, and I'm like, dude, honestly, that's so out of pocket in so many ways.
Well, how about this? Yeah. Like, this came out of left field, but I don't know. I'm like tuned in right now. Like,
yeah,
I didn't know this was happening on my show.
Let him own up to what was said and let him clear the room. If we misinterpreted,
ladies, hold on.
If we didn't understand, let him clear the air.
Guys, let me just host a show for a second. You're upset because why?
I think that, listen, criticism, sure, but be real and own up to whatever mistake you make. Because again, you are leading whatever group
What
you
did
are.
I say? What is so upsetting? I don't know. I don't get it. Why didn't you talk to me?
You don't know what you do. You do all this content and you comment all these things, but you don't remember what you do. But you have all the comments to be made.
No, it's okay. I'll just endure this like I should in an abusive relationship.
Did you hear those clips?
That you should endure, like for the betterment of the family. And
well, there was like 3 or 4 or 5 days ago, me and Melina were on the Whatever podcast, and Melina asked some questions about like, should you endure?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and he was part of those people. So yeah, you can see Melina's face here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that was such a good insult.
Okay, so MLD, what do you recall of this?
I'm still waiting for that. Like, I don't get it. What was said that made you so upset?
This is the problem. So if we reverse the roles, if a woman addressed this, you're being emotional.
Not going to answer the question.
There is nothing.
Why don't you answer the question?
I'm asking the question. Well, why are you so mad?
She's already said it.
Because
what
do you did?
You're saying that he called you fat and you're addressing
it. So just take accountability for it. Like, oh my bad, I was probably just slurring on Hennessy.
Because he's talking about women that they have to do X, Y, and Z and all this what they have to do, and you shouldn't, treat women badly because they have to submit to you, and in Tokyo or whatever they're so feminine and this and that. But it's here, you come here, and when there's women are making valid points and there are respectable women, you come in the chat and you fat shame, or you go and make pieces about people, or whatever it is that you want to do. At the end of the day, all that's being said is that, listen, if you're going to do those things, own up to it and then make your point about it. If you're going to do these things and you're not going to own up to it, and then what's the point? You're just bullying people?
There's no integrity in what you stand on. Nowadays, you're running a space where men stand on principles and honor, but you see someone's face and you completely dismiss the fact that was disgusting. Disgusting. We're not in a Call of Duty lobby. I don't know you. It wasn't like I've said something to you. I said anything to you. I've stepped out of the combative space of the red pill stuff because of guys like you. And you prove my point to it. It's I don't know you. You don't have to do that, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. It's fine if I said, you're not my preference. I've never attacked you before.
Right.
I'm still waiting for what made you upset.
It's okay. Right now, we're going to call you the delusional girl.
All right, how about I just...
And we can just stick
you
to
want
that.
Just leave? Because this is retarded.
No, I will...
Why would you leave,
You're upset because...
Why would you leave? You literally...
One of the things I mentioned earlier that I get so upset when I see these shows is anytime I'm on these shows, a lot of these guys tune it down a lot. But when it's just them versus 7 girls, they go so fucking hard and they bring out all the crazy insults. But then even on a show with women where they start to get pushback, they just crumble, right?
That is the most weak
ass. He considers himself an alpha male.
Yeah. And this is why, like, as much as and I've said this, I already said a lot of this earlier today, but as much as I don't like any of his fucking views on anything related to dating or anything, at the very least.
I agree with him on most things, right?
Sure. Oh, no. I was talking about Myron, actually. I'm sorry. From Fresh and Fit, I don't agree with Myron on anything. I probably don't agree with him either. But at least Myron would say, like, yeah, I think you're a fat bitch.
Yes.
He would say that.
Yeah, I could respect that so much more. I don't understand why this guy
wild.
Like, and if you're going to pretend like, oh, I don't know, and then you get called out for, oh, okay, yeah, like, do that. Then be like, yeah, I called you fat, and then explain why. Because, like, and then be meaner and be funny.
Yeah, own it. Yeah,
like,
I hate you.
Yeah, whatever. But another point that she keeps bringing up, bruh, I don't even talk to you. So you're telling me this blue checkmark guy who, like, successful, nice clothing.
Supposedly. Ostensibly.
Like,
Ostensibly.
At least doing well in the social medias. He's going around into other people's spaces. I don't even do that. I have 3,000 followers. I'm too busy for that. How does he have time?
You're an example.
Can
for
somebody
men.
tell me what I
You're an
said that everybody's so
example for
upset
men.
about that I'm
That's
still
you
waiting
make
on?
content
What was the
for.
example that, just to be clear?
I'll do the three. Was it three? Nah, I'm pretty sure it was, is this chick supposed to be attractive? 1. 2, she's 40 pounds too heavy.
Yep.
XYZ, something about weight. I wouldn't listen to her. Like, you just went on a rant. It was like.
How do you know that was him, though?
Because it was his name with the check mark in the chat.
Do you recall doing that?
I guess so. So you're
so
mad
now
at
you-
What? No. Okay. Either double. At this point, you're too far. You have to double down on not knowing. You have amnesia, sir.
Or yeah, like, listen,
Right now?
I'm a schizophrenic.
Yes.
I'm honest. I didn't have my medication for 2 months. I don't know which part of me said that. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Right.
He reminds me, I think I told you, I have a 12-year-old son. He reminds me, like, especially when my kid was like 6, 7, like, kids are horrible liars, right? Like, a kid will walk out of a fucking room with markers smeared all over his face. Like, did you just eat a fucking marker? And they'll be like, no. Like, bro, your vomit is fucking tree green. Like, come on, dude. Like, how dumb are you? Yeah. And, like, he's like the same way. Like, you got caught so hard. And she's got, like, she has so much, like, mommy energy. Like, you're being disrespectful. This isn't a video game lobby. I don't appreciate it when you're talking about it. It's just so fucking funny, dude.
But she already destroyed him, like, 2 minutes into it, and then she just kept going, and it was so beautiful. She's been nailing it, and it wasn't even repetitive. Every single point was solid.
You're mad because I said you're 40 pounds overweight? I'm on every chat. I'm in Fresh and Fit. You know how it is when you're a streamer. You're in all these chats. I did like 6 shows in the last 6 days.
So just be sorry.
Like, I did so many shows. Like, I had to call you a fat bitch. Like, I couldn't help myself. Like...
Wait, I did 6 shows in 6 days, so I had enough time to, like,
Yeah, I don't
look
even know.
at other people's streams? What the f***? I do 1 show a day, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No,
what-
wait, I don't...
Well, no. So I'm not. So first of all, I'm not a piece of shit.
You don't
so
think that's
talk
piece
to me
of
like
shit
that.
behavior?
Okay, don't talk to me like that. All right.
But he can talk to her like that?
All right. I said what I said. I do think maybe you
So you did say it.
Why not? Why didn't you say this 5 minutes ago?
If he started with that, he wouldn't.
He would have been fine. I said what I said. I think you're a fat bitch.
Yeah. Done over. Game done. Boom.
were 40 pounds overweight.
Sure.
So what's wrong with that?
We can match each other's energy. All I had to say was you need to like own up to your shit because it's weird that you
I
would
just
face
did.
me. Yeah, after like pulling teeth. Are you good?
No, after you talking over me and freaking
This was
trauma
old.
dumping
Did I say
live
that?
on
I
the
don't know what I said.
show.
See what-
What is he talking
You
about?
I don't
know what I said.
words and like you throw them onto. But if I acted the way you act, you would demonize me. If I literally attacked you the way you attacked me, if I said the things that's disrespectful. If another man said the shit that you said to me, oh, that's fighting words. But yet a woman says it to you, oh, she's being dramatic, she's masculine, she's emotional. But
I didn't call you any of those
where's
things.
the vein coming out of my neck that I'm so triggered right now that oh, she's mad? I think it's disgusting that you act the way. It's so like unattractive and not manly. But yet you sit here and shame women. Oh, I can't wait to go back to Japan. I just think there again, you're leading a bunch of cows to follow you, and you're like, yeah, this is how men should act. That's not how men in my family and in my life act, and it's so unattractive that you think that's normal. So you are part of the problem in the West, is what I'm basically saying.
Okay.
So let's try to put
He has nothing to say.
a silver lining on this thing.
She's like destroying his entire existence. And this guy is a guy that sells himself on his like male dating and life expertise.
I couldn't when you said that at first, like, oh, it really destroyed it. I couldn't imagine how one like conversation, because like I've had some pretty shitty conversations, and I didn't think I did that great with you the first time I streamed. It didn't ruin my fucking career, but
like, how do you go on
Jesus.
shows after this? And it's like, yeah.
you don't. Has he been on a show
How
since?
should
Well, I'm sorry. So the whole thing that brought this up was because somebody said, oh.
Oh, God.
So he left this show because he's like, I have a heart.
No! Wait, I need to see exit.
Okay, hold on.
And you're an S&M type of person, fucking play on player.
Okay, hold on.
Then we have Redo.
Hold on,
Destiny.
guys. As we're doing this, production team, real quick. I know we're wrapping up. MLD literally has to go. He's not walking off. No. He said at 6 o'clock he needed to hard out at 6 o'clock right now. MLD, final words before you run off. I don't want to go out like this. Anything you would like to say before you do?
I got nothing to say.
He changed colors. He went from a white guy to a red guy.
Of course.
Like,
This guy, like, by the end of this conversation, he probably could have moved on to, like, a reservation and gotten paid for it. Like, that's how fucking... I don't know if that's raised or not, but, like, holy shit. But apparently this is the stream that he went and did afterwards. That's why people are like, Cope stream. But I don't know what he said here yet, because I haven't actually... Jesus Christ. But anyway.
Yikes. Yikes.
That's what we watched earlier.
That's beautiful. That's so horrific. That's really sad. Man, that's really funny. I just... He needed to pull in that, like, talk over women shit at that point. Like, as soon as she started winning, he needed to try to talk over her and start owning up that she was shit, but he didn't. He just was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explicitly... How many times did he ask for the explicit thing? And then as soon as she gave the very explicit thing, it's like, oof, you probably didn't want her to say those explicit things.
Or it's a thing... This is like a strategy that I noticed when it comes to people... There are certain, I'm trying to think of a better word than abusive, but I would consider them like emotionally abusive people, where they'll play a trick. So it's like, let's say that I did something wrong, okay? Let's say that we're dating and last night at 7 o'clock, I went to Applebee's with a girl that I'm not supposed to, okay? So you're like, hey, I think you were up to something bad last night. I'm like, no, I wasn't. You're like, yeah. I'm like, well, what time? And you're like, 7 o'clock. I'm like, okay, where do you even think I was? You don't know. And then you're like, Applebee's. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe I was with a friend. It's like, no, you were with Karen. And I'm like, okay, yeah, so I was. So what? Like, people that do that thing, we're like, what did I even do? Where was I? You don't know. What was it? And then when you finally, you're like, okay, yeah, and? Like, people that do that are the most, like, evasive. Like, come on, bro. Like, you got to say in the beginning, like, you f***ed up. Not like once you've gotten cornered to the very end. There's a, have you ever heard of the, is it like the hypocrite's prayer or something? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's a thing where, like, no, fuck, somebody link it to me so I don't fuck it up. But it's like the abuse, or it might be called the narcissist prayer, actually. It's this thing. That didn't happen, and if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, that's not a big deal. And if it is, it's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. Like this, like, game that you play with people. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I have definitely heard that before. That is interesting. I think that's definitely a thing in streaming.
It's probably a thing everywhere, to be fair. But.
Yeah, but you were talking earlier about parasitic relationships online and like YouTube communities. And I think, as I've noticed, it's hard unless you're constantly clipping everything and constantly keeping accounts of what every single other person said. You end up with like a lot of that sort of stuff because that online interface really prevents you from, I don't know, like,
from like keeping people accountable. There was a time in my life where I had like a Google Doc where I was logging every single thing, because I would say to people like, bro, like, you've done this shit like 15 times, and they're like, when? I'm like, really? So then you have to like start digging through, and it's like, well, you said it here, and you said it here, and you said it here, and you said it. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
That's
like,
obnoxious to have to do, though. You want to be able to just call someone out on their shit and then have them own up to it.
Yeah, but they don't. That's why I'm like I'm the manifesto writer online. Like, anytime I have a really big drama with somebody, I'll write like a 50-page fucking thing and then do a YouTube video, because I'm like, this is all the fuck shit that was said. People are saying this happened, but this is actually what happened with all of the fucking receipts. Like, that's what people, they call it manifesto, but I think it's good.
What's your longest manifesto? Or what is your, like, the one that you're proudest of? The one that you think really proves?
Well, some of them have been very entertaining. So, like, the writing quality and the entertainment factor is high. Some of them have been really well researched. Like, in one, I had, like, really cute titles for all the sections. Like, I had, like, 2 huge bombs to, like, nuke somebody's career, and I named both of those sections after the names of the atomic bombs that were dropped on.
Very cute.
Yeah, Japan. I thought that was cute. Some of them have been very long. Some of them have been very well researched. It just depends, you know. I end the internet careers. If we beef one day, you'll be done after that.
Oh, I'm really excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, maybe we should think of a title now that you'll have to squeeze in later.
Okay.
Casachina Blanca.
I hate that. I hate everything about that, okay?
You'll come sometime. We'll have fun.
Okay. Only if the Gwyneth lady's there. Where is it? What city is this in?
Puerto Vallarta.
And that's in Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this like in the Caribbean?
No, it's like in Mexico. Caribbean's like a country and Mexico's a country.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, one of us is very wrong right now.
No.
But I think you're more traveled than me. Isn't the whole area considered the Caribbean? Am I wrong?
I think maybe you have like
Cancun.
the water.
Wait, like Cancun is a city in Mexico. Isn't that part of like the Caribbean? Or am I wrong?
I'm thinking of like the Caribbean Isles. So the Caribbean Isles is.
Well, but I think people can say like if you go to like Aruba, or if you go to Cancun, or if you go to like any of these places, it's all part of like the Caribbean, isn't it? Or the Caribbean. I'm pretty sure I'm correct.
I know.
Yeah, okay,
I
fuck
could be
you.
wrong.
But
I could be wrong. Yeah. See, people are calling me dumb, so that's me. I'm dumb. I'm wrong.
Chill. But apparently people are saying this on the west side of Mexico, so it's not on the.
When I went to like Atlantis, right? I said I went to the Caribbean. I don't know. Maybe I always thought like that isle was the Caribbean, and then Mexico was Mexico. Maybe.
Is there an island called the Caribbean?
Like, where's Atlantis? The resort.
Isn't that like sunk in the bottom of the ocean?
No,
I thought it was a fake place.
Atlantis, the resort, like the resort Atlantis with the waterfall that goes into the Shark Tank.
I don't know. I haven't been there. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Did you go to the Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Were there sharks swimming where you were swimming?
No, it's like this big pyramid. Like look up the Atlantis water slide. Just look up Atlantis water slide. It's awesome. It's cool.
Atlantis water slide.
And then it goes, see, it goes right into the Shark Tank. You see, those are the sharks. So
okay,
the Bahamas.
Like, isn't this all part of the Caribbean?
Okay, yeah,
or am
I guess. Yes,
okay.
You're right. Absolutely, you are.
Okay.
I just always assumed that those isles were the Caribbean, and then like Mexico was Mexico and not a part of.
Oh.
But no.
Wait, did you think this place was in Mexico?
No, I did not.
Okay, just checking.
No.
Like the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico are part of the Caribbean, right?
Well, stop asking me because apparently I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. You keep asking me after I was just wrong.
You're making me doubt myself a lot.
I'm just making shit up to make you doubt yourself. Your hair is also a really nice shade of purple.
It's not purple, it's blue.
No, it's a nice shade of purple.
You're just fucking with me. Okay, you're colorblind. Win big time. Thanks, Peter, Kaffa, whatever. I don't know if that's a spam donor or what, but thanks, buddy. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's okay. You were a math person.
I was a math person. I sucked at geography and history. Really bad at those.
Don't worry. Most people do, so you're good.
But you liked math, yeah?
I did a lot. And then I went to music school and fucking dropped out because I was...
But you like music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I don't play music. I got barely a piano.
No, you have so many.
I can't play the guitar. I haven't played the saxophone in 10 years. These are ornaments, okay? Yeah. I'm a big phony. You know, women use Facetune. I have fake instruments in the background to seem like a struggling musician, okay? And in reality, I just play League of Legends. No, I don't play that game anymore. Anyway, do you do any art stuff?
Yeah, I paint and I draw. I drew a picture of who was it? Of Matt Gaetz, and it was really ugly. But then I saw Matt Gaetz and I showed it to him, and it's really horrendous. And
what did you see Matt Gaetz at?
CPAC.
Oh, of course you went to that. You probably like bought like the front row tickets and.
No, I don't buy the tickets. I get invited to CPAC in the front row tickets.
My bad.
Yeah.
I forgot the woman thing.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. I actually like have made really good connections at CPAC, and I've worked my way into some circles, and yeah. Like, okay. I'm a nice enough person, you know? I'll get invites to CPAC, why not?
Okay.
It's easy enough. If it's one person, I think people could throw you a bone. If you're asking for like a party of 10, then you're not going to be able to get far. But
okay. I'll think about that.
There's no DPAC though, and I've always wondered about that.
A Destiny conference or whatever?
I meant Democratic Political Action Conference as opposed to conservative.
Is there really no DPAC?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's kind of weird. I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. I've always wondered that. Like, there's all these CPAC conferences, there's all these conservative conferences, but I don't know if any like liberal conferences. Like, I guess there's like progressive, I don't know, rallies. That's what your conferences are, just marching and rallying all the time.
Isn't that what you guys do with like the tiki torches?
And the white hoods?
No? Okay. Just checking.
No. Yeah. So this is the big fuck up of the day. This guy. Are you gonna watch some of the Cope stream?
Probably, yeah. Do you want to look at a little bit of it?
Yeah, let's look at a little bit of the Cope stream.
I'm curious. I'm gonna accelerate this a bit because these guys talk slow. Hold on.
Instead of chasing dopamine, we can do that every day. And if we can find a way to find joy in that, then we can have joy every day. I'm just as happy. Yeah. I'm just as happy sitting at my computer working on
I see that he toned down his color. He got control of himself again. That's good.
Building businesses to help my employees. I'm just as happy doing that as a motherfucker on vacation with some hosts. Yeah. Right? You know, I'm literally, and I'm not just saying that. I'm just as happy because, you know, it's when they're talking about joy like the recreation shit, there's nothing wrong with it within itself, right? But it's kind of selfish, right? Right? When you're building a business, well, you got to make money. You can't make money. People have to give it to you. Right. Take it. Yeah. Right. So they have to give it to you for what? What you got to get them? Some sort of value. Right. Yeah. So you gotta help people to get money. Right. And then if you got employees, people you work for, right, you're helping them make a living for their families, for their kids. Right. So you're helping them.
This sounds like really shitty, and I hate to pull like body count or like money or whatever because it feels like very crass. But I really sometimes wish that when you came on to shows like this and you market yourself as like a self-made businessman, I want to know like, how much money do you make? What's the revenue for your business? How many employees do you have? Because I feel like a lot of these
Shark
guys...
Tank questions.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these guys were like mega successful and that like they maybe made like $2,500 a month, like selling shit online. And they kind of like move to different areas and like sleep on a couch and they're like, oh, and then they make their real living. Have you ever heard of Amway?
No.
Have you heard of like New Vision or Mary Kay?
Yes.
Okay. Like, you know that a lot of the people in those companies, they reason why they make millions is because they tell other people how to make money. It's not because they built a business first. It's because they're doing like self-help shit basically. And I feel like for a lot of these like red pill business guys, they didn't make a lot of money doing legitimate business first. They were just like had middling success, but they're like inspirational speakers on YouTube, and that's where they make their business.
Yeah, I've seen several guys who like how to create a successful business. Okay, how many successful businesses have you created?
Yeah, like, and really not like you drop shipped for $800 a month,
right?
And then paid like an editor to make thumbnails for a TikTok that went viral one time. You know, like I'd be real because, and then again, what do I know? I do YouTube shit, but like I've picked up a little bit of like business sense, and I understand a little bit. I make a decent amount of money. When I hear some of these guys talk about business, like you don't really sound like you have any idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like I don't get that vibe sometimes. Like there are people that I listen to, and it's like you sound like for instance, as much as I don't like Martin, your friend, when he would start talking about like pharmaceutical stuff, I feel like immediately you probably know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I call him when I have like when I have questions about there's two people that I call, and they're Martin and the other one is a different guy.
Yeah, financial stuff too. I don't know if he can like call stocks accurately, but when he talks about financial companies, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
He's so well researched.
Yeah. But then some of these guys will talk about business and like they'll say things like you got to offer value, and it's like
No,
like what does that mean?
You don't have to offer value.
Or even it's like these statements that are like so vacuous. Like what are we even talking about? Like you got to find value. Like okay, I don't know.
Yeah, you're giving creating jobs, creating opportunities for people. You know, it's a net positive for the world. Yeah. But if you're just if vacation, partying, getting high, casual sex, all that shit, that's the only form of joy, it kind of helps you, man.
I want to add on to that because, I kind of fell into the casual sex trap myself.
Did you?
And then when you put out the alpha baller mindset.
Oh, no, it was the old course. Yeah. High value alpha baller.
High value alpha baller, yeah. Because when I saw you put out that course, I looked at it from a digital marketer's lens. I was like, okay, Brandon's clearly a fucking genius. So like, what is he up to? So I watched it, and I watched the entire thing from start to finish. No stone unturned. And the part where you were just like, chasing hoes is low value behavior and waste of time.
Well, yeah, it's just an empty victory,
And so many guys are doing that.
Yeah, it's empty victory.
It's empty victory because like you hooked up with some thought.
Yeah,
congratulations.
That's kind of true. Wait, hold on. Somebody linked a timestamp.
No, I think that is true.
Yeah. Okay.
WMLD, L Saucecast, they ambushed you, very disrespectful. What's your thoughts on what just happened?
I gotta watch it, man.
Don't say.
I fucks with Sauce.
I mean, he's a cool guy. I think just the whole ending was chaotic and cancerous. I mean, how are you gonna get mad at me because you're fat?
Damn, man.
Then say that on the show. Call her fat on the show.
I don't know. So
I know.
Call her fat on the fucking show. You were like, I don't know. What did I say? What did I say?
Mhm.
You can't even tell me.
Like, this guy has so much smoke when he's off the shows. As soon as he's off the shows, he got all sorts of shit to say, and it's like,
what the fuck?
And then they all started yelling at me. But I really don't entertain this kind of low class behavior. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm focused.
Like, that wasn't what you were doing. Like, you could say that. Like, I'm not going to justify myself. I insulted you in a chat room. Boom. And you're done. But it wasn't. He was like, I don't even remember what I said. Like, I don't know. Did I really say that? Like, I don't remember. I was like, bro, what? I don't know.
And he got red and he rage quit. I mean, there's so many. And she just went on and on. He kept giving her opportunity to keep going because he kept, it kind of reminded me with Brian, like, well, what is my number? What is my number? And then I do have this big nose and these teeny hands. It's like, okay, you could shut up. Like, you could just own your shit and move on.
Focused on making money, learning from you, being here, being present with the Victory unit.
Well, you know what, man? Statistically, she gonna die. No, you know what I'm saying? Of obesity-related diseases, right? It's not. It's just what.
Obesity. First of all, I'm pretty sure women don't they have a 7-year longer life expectancy to men or something?
Men. Yeah.
Number one. Yeah.
Women outlive men.
Number two, the idea that this is low class behavior, I don't have time to deal with them. How many high value men, high class men? Was Kevin Samuels going around in YouTube chats oh, that's a fat bitch?
No.
What the fuck? Do you think Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson, even the Tates? Do you think Tristan is in chats that bitch is fat? Come on.
I don't it's so weird to me because it really seems like a 12 or 13-year-old boy in a Call of Duty room. That girl, what's her name?
Angelina or Angelica?
Okay.
Yeah, but
look her up. She's cute. She's funny.
But it is, especially if she wants to justify her.
28. She's pushing 200.
200 at 28.
You liar.
And also,
she was not pushing 200. You dick.
No offense, but this guy's probably chubbing it.
He is chubby.
He's
hiding it with a nice suit.
Yeah.
Okay. Your collar. Look at his tie. That's not going around his fat neck.
She wasn't black, was she? Vietnamese, I think. Okay, thank God.
Why is he in a full suit and this dude's in a wife beater?
Sis is out here embarrassing myself. All right, cool, man. Hey, man. Listen, Viet Cong, y'all got to figure your shit out, man. You got to get your girl. You know what I'm saying? what else we got? What else we got?
And again, where was this energy on the show?
Super chat.
Oh boy.
We have income tools. Gave $10.
Income tools. Shout out. We don't know how much money that is. It could be $1 million. It could be 75 cents. But shout out to you.
I just said it. $10.
Oh, $10. Oh, man. Mi amor, mucho inteligente. Para dinero.
Should be muy inteligente, right?
Mucho, yeah, muy.
All right.
That was my Cuban roots,
Out the Google.
We have extra guac.
Very instead of much.
What up?
Much instead of much intelligence.
Exactly. Didn't make much sense there. Okay. Anyway, that was his cope, I guess. But
that wasn't too bad. But it is really cringe that he couldn't just call her fat to her. I guess that's so weird because he was totally okay with just going into her chat randomly. They weren't even arguing, and with his actual name and his fucking blue check, go ahead and call her fat. I don't understand why he didn't use his sock account.
yeah, true, that too. If you're gonna make fun of people, I say shit if I'm ever up to some fuck shit, I'm on a fucking laptop on a VPN on a fucking fresh install of Windows and the fucking Starbucks. Okay, I'm not getting caught saying some dumb retarded shit on the internet. Okay, but I say retarded shit on my main account. I don't give a fuck. But some people will say some shit and it'll be the username is their social security number. I'm like, bro, are you fucking retarded? That's the shit where somebody murders somebody, they leave their wallet and their passport at the crime scene. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit.
Oh, that was rough.
Jesus.
That was rough.
And then apparently he does. God, I feel bad. Now I feel like I'm roasting this whole man's career. When he was on the Whatever podcast with us, do you ever have men that do the very subtly creepy stuff?
Yes.
Okay. This is something I talk about a bit because it's hard to. It's one of those things where it's hard to catch it and you can never call that out as a woman because it's always so subtle that if you say something you look crazy because it's oh I didn't know whatever.
Otherwise, I'm going to end up like MLD, just fucking drunk in a chair, fucking spouting random ass shit. I don't want to end up like that.
You were saying that MLD kept putting his arm around you, and that was making you feel uncomfortable.
I don't really want to get too into it. I don't want to cause any drama, but yeah, that sort of made me uncomfortable.
So she was on our podcast episode. I didn't even notice this. He was sitting like this the whole time with her.
Okay, but look at how her body language is.
It's
Yeah,
kinda
they don't
weird.
know each other
No,
at
no,
all.
stop. But stop. Look at her
Yeah.
body language, though.
What?
She is leaning literally into him.
It looks like
she
it.
is giving him signals that she is into it.
It
I'm not
No,
gonna.
no, no. It looks like it, but you are so crowded on these shows.
I've been on that podcast. We just watched me on that podcast. I know how crowded that is. But you're not. If
That's your fault.
If some creepy dude is touching me, I'm leaning the way, and I'm gonna tell them, like, what are you doing? Or at least I'm gonna give them the look so that they.
Yeah,
they
but I think a
know.
lot of women won't. To be that like level of confrontation, a lot of women won't say anything because you just.
But
kinda
are
like,
they going to insinuate that they like it with their body language?
I disagree that she was insinuating that she liked it. I think she looked relatively in that position. Like here, like is she insinuating that she likes it with his hand around the chair there? Like she's talking to other people on the show, but I don't think she's insinuating at all.
Okay, just that one.
The
that
one part
time
might
that
have
you
looked like
played it.
But like if you watch, he does this for like
Oh,
30 minutes.
No, that doesn't insinuate. No.
Yeah.
Okay, I take that back.
Sorry, yeah. The one clip might have made it look like it. But like he does this so much the whole show.
And she's like nervously playing with it. Now she's turning away. She's trying to get to other women. She's looking for help. Just kidding. No, her body language completely changed.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, completely turned the other way. Like, yeah, you should always look at how people's legs are crossed. So it
Mhm.
should tell you where their focus is. So the fact that she's specifically crossing her legs in the way opposite of him, it means that she's trying to get away from it. And then she's turning her face and she's like physically in the chair as far. Yeah.
Damn, yeah, I didn't catch that initially, but Jesus.
Oh, shoulder turn. Yeah, she's trying to get the fuck away from him.
Anyway. Well, okay.
Wait, keep playing the Twitter, her roasting him.
Oh, well, God, I feel like I'm going really hard on this guy right now.
Kind of icky, kind of stank. You know, I mean, if he's gonna go on a podcast and start saying shit about how he had to deal with my autism, I might as well, like, kind of.
Sure.
But anyways, yeah, he was just sitting next to me. He reeked. He really smelled like if you were to go into a 13-year-old locker room with a bunch of 13-year-old boys, and you smell immediately the scent of Axe body spray just permeates your nose. It burns your fucking nostrils. That is what I had to endure for 4 or 5 hours straight. Just that it was just terrible. Like, it's like he went into a little boy's locker room and fucking rolled around in their sweat and in their fucking odor and just walked in on set. Like, yeah, that's...
This girl is also, this is one of the first girls I've ever met in my life. She has mega autism. Like, we talked for maybe 20 minutes after the show, and she's like this, like, the whole time. Like, I'm
That's
over there, and she's, like, staring forward. She is, like, kid doesn't make eye contact ever. She says, like, a lot of, like, kind of awkward stuff. She's, like, very awkward with her body. Like, yeah.
That's a horrible thing to do to a girl who struggles with autism so severely, to put her.
And she said on the show she had a boyfriend, too.
Shut up.
Yeah, yep, she did. She said she had one boyfriend. She's a virgin. I think she said that, yeah. So, yeah.
No, I'm really hating this guy now. What the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with
Good.
him?
That's what it felt like. It was just like, but you know, anyway, I wanted to sit next to Mary, honestly. I was going to sit next to Mary, not Chase, sorry. Brian sat me and Mary together, and then MLD came in kind of late, and then he kind of sat between us, like situated himself, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't really mind that. I don't really mind sitting next to men. I don't give a fuck. You know, I never really feel uncomfortable around men. But he was a bit different, you know? Like, he kept on getting up, going to the bathroom, taking shots. Like, there was, like, a whole entire 12-pack of White Claws, and like, he kept on, like, putting his arm around my chair and, like, just, like, fucking, I think he might have touched Mary. I don't know. Like, and he did say during the podcast, you know, like, it wasn't until I was 35 until I learned boundaries. I'm like, well.
Wait, do they drink on the show? Because they didn't drink when I was. Does
Okay.
Brian not drink?
I think that everybody in this world is secretly a drug addict and a fucking alcoholic.
So to the Whatever podcast, I brought a bottle of champagne to thank them for allowing me on the show. It was a very nice bottle of champagne. And I handed it to Brian, and he goes, "Oh, I don't drink."
Damn.
That was it.
Maybe they don't. Maybe Brian doesn't.
I had it had a fucking thank you card. It was a nice bottle.
Aw.
Yeah.
Where's my bottle of champagne?
Bruh, I stopped. I was like, after the Whatever podcast, I was like, I'm not going to.
See, this is why I
put
don't
in
like
the
women with
effort.
trauma. If you would have been a nice 21-year-old, you would have brought me a nice bottle of champagne. But since you've had bad experience with men,
yeah, I
now you don't fucking do shit. Now you're entitled.
Look
You
at
expect
how
us to do
high this
everything.
neck collar is.
Oh my God, you're not even trying. Okay, Jesus.
So a little ironic.
Yeah. So I felt uncomfortable the entire time. And, like, I was just sitting there, like, kind of, like, leaning forward. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I was leaning forward.
We pointed it out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's really unfortunate, especially with someone with severe autism. and someone with a boyfriend and someone who's a virgin, like Jesus, and someone who's on camera in a social setting, and all of this just because he knew that she couldn't get away.
Yeah, that's always the without opening up this conversation too much, did you see the thing about the gym and the flirting in the gym and everything?
Yes.
So I actually have a hot take on this, but it's not that hot once I explain it. When people say like, what's an appropriate place to flirt? And people will say like, oh, don't flirt with people that are working because they can't say no, or women in areas, blah, blah, blah. In my personal opinion, I think that you can flirt anytime and at any place, in any situation. But the thing that is important to sell is you have to communicate through body language or maybe even verbally to the other person that like they can always get out and there's not gonna be a problem. Right. Like it's the difference, like, and there are so many subtle ways of communicating people don't understand. Like there's a difference between like walking by a woman or seeing a woman in the gym and being like, oh, your hair looks really nice today. And then like you carry on, like you continue on, versus like, oh, your hair is nice today.
And then you want the conversation.
Yeah, and you're like sitting there and it's like, okay, because in one thing, you're like saying something nice, and the girl might come and find you afterwards, you might like chat as you're like moving around, versus the other is like, fuck, this guy just said some shit to me, and now I have to like entertain a conversation, and if I say anything, I'm gonna be a super bitch if I tell him, well, you know?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because when I get hit, like when I go to the gym, I have been hit on, and like, if I like the guy, I enjoy it, but if I'm not attracted to the guy, I'm trying to like do my fucking workout, and I have to stop and appease this person for like 5 to 10 minutes and assuage their feelings, and hopefully next time I come to the gym
they're not there and you don't have like a permanent.
Yeah.
But I think even if the guy's not attractive, you're not attracted to him. Like if the guy, because guys have this fear that like if you tell a girl like a compliment and she thinks you're like unattractive, that she's gonna like get you thrown out or something. But if you like say something to a girl and you just like keep it moving, like I think you're fine. Like you're not gonna, as long as it doesn't feel like the girl doesn't feel like you're gonna like corner her expecting some sort of fucking conversation that you owe her or something because you like say something to her, you know?
Yeah, and yeah, I definitely had the cornering before, and that's always really hard. Yeah. They're good at that, the cornering. Those are the scariest people, though.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize. I feel when I talk about, sorry, I'm getting really feminist again, not to trigger you. I'm gonna use the rape culture word, but I feel like a lot of like the way that, kind of like a rape culture thing, the way that a lot of men are set up to pursue women is usually like the goal is to navigate the woman using body imposition and alcohol or other drugs into an area where she basically can't say no. Like that's the goal. Like if I get her on my bed in my bedroom and she's a little bit tipsy and I start making moves, is she really gonna like push me off? Probably not. Like that feels like that's like the general goal, and like a lot of the advice is geared towards that rather than trying to find people that like genuinely have like a sexual interest in you or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I just one person, like there's a corner that comes, there's this guy, I was like, during law school, this girl that I knew had a bakery, and so I worked at her bakery for free to help her out because she was struggling with COVID, yada yada. A corner came up into the bakery. Dude, he was the weirdest person. He insisted on having my phone number, like would not walk away until I gave it. And so I was like, okay, you could follow me on Instagram. Like I don't like, I'm sorry, but like I don't give out my phone number. So he follows me on Instagram. From there, he looks at my uniform on my military jacket, finds my last name, figures out my phone number with like one of those things, and started calling me, telling me that he wanted to rape and kill me.
Okay, that's really extreme.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Then turns out he's been doing this to hundreds of women throughout the city. And like right after he got my phone number, he went into the bakery because I was giving samples outside. He went into the bakery and asked out the young girl, like the under 18 girl working at the counter, and the owner.
Yeah. One of the really awkward conversations you had to have with new girls and any male employee is, and we'd forget initially, and you'd have to remember, is like a guy would be, like I had the experience. So I was a supervisor in a restaurant for a while, in a casino. And I remember listening to a guy behind me like pick up the phone, and it was like blah, blah, blah. And I heard him say like, oh, she normally comes in at whatever o'clock and she normally leaves at 5, so she's not here today or whatever. Yeah, and I hear that and I turn around and I'm like, and he's like, yeah, okay, no problem, bye. And I was like, who was that? And he was like, oh, it was somebody that called looking for one of our employees. And I'm like, do you know who it was? And he's like, he said it was a friend. And I'm like, Why would you give out? Yeah, it's like, you can't just give out girls' work schedules because guys will call restaurants.
He'll just stand there outside of the fucking
Waiting for them to
restaurant
go in and
waiting
out,
for
yeah.
them. That's terrible.
And
Oh
people
my
will do that. If you
God.
work at like fast food or restaurant, anytime a stranger comes in and is like, oh, do you know when is Stacy working tomorrow? Like, it seems like an innocuous question, but you should never, ever, ever. You always say like, oh, if you want, I can put you through to the manager, or you have to come in and find her. Like, we can't. Like, I can't give out a schedule over the phone. Yeah, because creepers will call in and like socially engineer schedules of like girls working for people like that.
They
yeah.
absolutely will.
Oof.
They absolutely will. So creepy. I'm shocked that they weren't trained because I've been trained in workplaces not to do that. So
We had a really high turnover at my casino, and I remember I worked grave shift, and grave shift is where like you get no good employees, nobody gives a fuck, because all of like your vice president, all of your VPs, all of your big managers, they are coming in through day shift. So nobody cares about grave shift. And so day shift is your spoiled children shift, where everybody gets way too much tips because the customers are nice and all the VPs are there, so you overstep, so everything looks good. Swing shift is where you make your money because that's where your busy crowds come in. And then grave shift is where everything goes to die. I had an employee, okay, I swear to God, I'm not being racist, okay? I worked in a diner, okay? I had an employee. They gave me this employee to train on my own, okay? So I'm the only front of house, and from 4 a.m. onwards, I'm the only back of house. So I'm also cooking.
Jesus.
And they gave me an employee called Tut, T-U-T, a Sudanese guy, and he couldn't read and didn't know what a cheeseburger was.
Oh, that's actually really sweet. I mean, it's probably not helpful for the job.
So
but it's
I'm trying to
cute.
teach this guy, like in between orders, he's got like a list of things where he's learning to read, like cheeseburger, steak and egg. And I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Anytime I would get a good employee that was like picking up the job pretty well, swing shift would abduct her. Or the lazy fuck day shift would abduct her. So they send me these. I got this guy called Bud. Oh, fuck. I just visited my kid 2 days ago, so I'm used to Rachel's still in my head, but she would know these stories. I had this guy called Bud, who was like an ADHD fucking cashier theft. He would steal from the fucking registers. And he was like, he had the worst ADHD. He was always like moving about. Like even when he was taking customer orders, he was like, can I help you today? And he's like moving back and forth. And I'm like, bro, fucking, I'm going to kill myself. I had another cook named, fuck, now I wish Rachel was here for this because she knows all these people. My kid's mom worked with me. She was my employee actually. Dude, I had a night chef cook called Jason. Okay. Now, I didn't know humans could do this. I thought only horses could do this. He could sleep standing up.
No, shut up.
Yeah. So I'll be taking an order, and I'll ring it in. One time with this customer. So they come in. They order like it's like 2 egg breakfast, over medium, bacon, whatever. I'm like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Give me a fountain drink. Okay, cool. I ring it up. I push the button to ring it up, do the sale, and then you hear the ticket print in the back, and the employee, the customer looks at me, and then they look back, and I look back, and we see the ticket like print, and Jason is just there with his hands on the counter like this. And they're like, is that the guy cooking my food? And I'm like, no, the ticket prints, there's another room in the back. And they stand there for like 30 seconds, and I'm standing there, I'm like, it's fine. And then they walk away, and I'm like, Jason, and he's like, dude, grave shift is impossible. Oh my God, that shit was unbelievable, dude. The type of shit that we would deal with there, oh my God.
That sounds fun.
Unbelievable. What did you?
How long did you do that?
I think for like 2 or 3 years. I worked at I did like kind of janitorial work at my high school from 14 to 18. 18, I got a job at McDonald's. And then like 18 to I think I worked at McDonald's for like 6 or 7 months. And then from like 18 to 20, I think I worked at the casino. So for like 2 or 3 years. And then 21, I worked as like a carpet cleaner guy. And then I got into streaming.
Nice.
Yeah. I was an actual a heroin actor. Oh, I don't even know. I don't know what
was your
drugs.
first stream about?
My very first stream. Damn, I don't even know. I'm sure it's saved somewhere.
You don't remember your very first stream?
It was like nobody streamed back then. It was like a new technology. Like back then. It was like really weird. So I probably played like some StarCraft, I guess.
Do you know who Chili DeCastro is?
No, should I?
He is a YouTube personality, but like he's kind of like in the sovereign citizen community.
Oh God.
But he doesn't think that, he doesn't know that, and he considers himself a constitutional scholar, but he like never graduated from college.
Oof. Does it trigger you as somebody that did law school in 2 years that people call themselves constitutional scholars? Oh, we've got a friend in chat, Pisco. He thinks he's really smart. It took him 3 years to get through law school too.
Oh wow.
Wait, what law school do you go to? Did you say?
I went to Suffolk University, so fuck you. It's not a very good school, but it's where my mom went.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Suffolk is...
He went to...
Harvard.
No. fuck, was it Columbia or
Columbia?
Something?
Like a good school.
Or New York or something? I actually don't know if he says it. I might just
But
talk
the
some stuff.
the thing is, Suffolk.
Oh, he went to a top 7 law school or top 6 law school.
Suffolk had almost all the exact same professors. So Harvard's pretty close to Suffolk. So I
Okay.
had some professors that worked at both Harvard and Suffolk. So it's kind of like, and you're using the exact same textbooks. And I had friends who went to Harvard. We have the exact same professors, exact same textbooks.
Oh,
Like,
damn. So you're
what?
basically like a Harvard educated lawyer.
Not, I did, no.
Basically.
No, because in order to
Basically.
be Harvard educated, you have to be surrounded by Harvard intelligent people. And my school was not
Harvard intelligent
Harvard
people?
intelligent people. No. Suffolk
Yikes.
University? No. And like, I enjoy civil discourse. I enjoy arguing, like having a debate with someone. These people just, my way or the highway. Like,
The sovereign citizen people or the people at
no,
your school?
my school, like, how could you not see that Roe v. Wade is super sound, like, legal genius? Because it's retarded. That's why. And even Ginsburg said so. So that's why. And
Well, there are Supreme Court justices, which are the highest legal authorities on the land, that disagree with you, to be fair.
This may be true, but I would be the winner in the end because Roe v. Wade was overturned. So
Can you overrule and overrule? Could I get like, can you
Overrule,
reinstate?
it's overturned.
Yeah,
Like,
could you like overturn and overturning? Like, could somebody come in and overturn Alito's decision and unturn it?
It would be more like
Return
someone would
it?
be bringing a new case forward to establish that precedent again. I don't think you can.
Could you
like,
reestablish Roe v. Wade and it
I
would just
guess
be called
you-
something different?
Well, I guess what you could do, because it was Casey, right? That essentially so I guess if you overruled Casey, then that could have some effect
Okay.
on Roe v. Wade. It's an interesting concept, though. It would just be easier to codify. That's what you deem.
Real easy, yeah.
Well, not
Abortion
easy.
in Congress. I mean, like, what's the challenge there, right?
It would be easier.
Wait, you're pro-life now, right?
I'm very pro-life. Yeah, like.
Yeah. What do you think about that chick that just trash canned that baby?
Oh my God, that was so sad. What an idiot. Like, I just can't. I mean, I've heard very similar stories, but the thing is, like, here's my opinion. If you're going to make it, like, was that in California? What state was that in? Because in California, I have, like, 3rd trimester, New York too, right? Abortion. So how is that any different?
Wow. True.
Yeah, I heard about this case where this woman, this is legitimately crazy. They don't know if she had 7 to 9 fetuses in her garage, but like it was insane. This woman, she would keep getting pregnant. She was embarrassed about it for some reason, so she wouldn't tell anyone, including her husband. And then she would just like go kill the baby when
Oh
it
my
came.
God.
And
Could you imagine keeping all of those in like glass jars?
She kept them.
And
That's
if you
the
have like an
weirdest
actual
thing.
kid and they like are disobedient, you send them to that room to like look at what they could have been.
She had 2 kids.
Holy shit! So she literally, this is like the dream idea.
She literally, so she got pregnant, and they realized that she was pregnant, and so they're like, oh, look, you look pregnant, and so she's like, oh yeah, I am, and so then she kept it, obviously, because she got caught. But every time she wasn't caught, she would just like, it would come out, wring its neck, put it in a box, put it in the garage.
Here's something I don't understand. Not to be mean, okay?
Mhm.
I have an oops baby, so I'll say I can understand 1. I think I could maybe even understand 2. But the people that have like 3, 4, 5, 6
She was
accidental
married.
kids, I know I don't understand how
So
people.
her husband was just fucking her normally.
Yeah, but
that's-
like, oh, she like didn't believe in birth control, like
well,
you.
Maybe,
That's you in another
maybe
life.
she.
Not
Well,
believing
how
in
do
birth
you-
control.
It would be hard to hide birth control from your husband, I think. Maybe. Like, I guess like
Do
a
you
little
think
pill.
how would a guy's not gonna fucking know? You just put in like a makeup case. Do you think they know the difference between like
Tylenol and birth
And
control.
anything? Yeah.
Probably not. I guess that's a good idea.
there you go?
I would never hide that from my husband, though. I feel like that's terrible. Like, I would never hide something like that.
Interesting.
Because, like, what if your husband was really eager to get pregnant and have a kid, like, and was really, like,
Oh.
that his whole heart was
It
into
sounds
that, and
fucking
you lied.
psychotic that you would try to do that and not talk about that first.
Yeah, like, why
Like
wouldn't
I'm
you
trying.
talk to your...
No, like on the husband's part. Like I'm really trying to get you pregnant, but we didn't even discuss having kids.
No, I was assuming, like, if the husband... I mean, if you're fucking a lot and, like... I mean, if you're doing the act that would make babies, I think, wouldn't that you imply that? I mean, you would have some sort of a conversation beforehand, too.
Yeah.
But I think it would just be weird to be on birth control and not tell your husband.
Yeah. I guess it's such a weird talk because this is like one of the first things I ask a girl. Like I asked you coming up, I was like, what kind of birth control are you on? Remember when we had that conversation in the elevator?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we had that really
long
conversation. I gave you my doctor's number.
But like, no, like anytime I imagine if you're dating the person or married, you've probably hooked up, I would imagine, unless maybe you're super Christian. So it's weird that like that conversation of birth control wouldn't have come up beforehand. Like, how do you get married to someone and not know if she's on birth control? I feel like you should know that.
But what
right?
if you like? I'm talking about women, I guess, who would start birth control after they got married and like.
Well, that would be really weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
But
There's the whole red pill thing about like wanting to ban birth control.
Well, I think that's not red pill. That's the trad conners. Because I think that sex should be for babies and we need to have like higher replacement rates or something, you know?
Well, I think it's more just like, are they arguing it's like sex is like a godly thing between married couples that you're supposed like a biblical thing that you're supposed to be having using only for procreation?
And you're supposed to have, and they talk a lot about like babies.
Like wanting more
like
people.
Replacement rates. Like they say the birth rates are down and everything. So they really want more kids.
I get that. Like I'm concerned for the future of humanity. And like birth rates are going down, and that is, I mean, we do have 8 billion, almost 9 billion people on the planet, and
well,
it was
where are your
exponentially
kids?
Growing. Yeah, I've been looking for a husband for a while. I've been looking for a husband. I would want a husband before I had kids.
Okay, well, there you go. Impossible standards by impossible women, and you're the reason the planet's dying. Okay.
Yep, it's my fault.
Way to go.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll give nice guys a chance, even if they're 3s or 4s. But yeah.
Was that like an invitation? Never mind.
No, that was
No, stop. Okay. All right. She's rich. She don't need a husband. True.
This is facts.
You could just donate all the kids to your family. You should be having like 1 kid a year and just give it to your mom and dad until you find your husband. So that at least you've got like babies that are
a collection.
Have you heard about some couple keeps trying to talk to me, but I don't know what I would talk to them about. They're like super baby makers. Do you know what I'm talking about?
How many kids do they have?
Can somebody have we talked about these people on stream at all? Oh man, I'm not even gonna be able to find.
That's so funny.
It's this couple. They've been interviewed by a few magazines, and they're basically like, they're saying that like their goal is to have like 12 kids. And then their goal is for each of their kids to have 12 kids, and then and they did the math, and they were like, in like 4 generations, we could have like 100,000 family members or something.
Well, that's kind of, well, it's that, you've read the Bible, I'm assuming.
I've heard about it. I was Catholic school for 12 years.
Yeah, so
a couple passages, yeah.
Yeah, so like, I just remember when I was reading it, I was really, one thing that stood out to me was one of the things that the people always asked God for was like the largest amount of children after them. They wanted like the biggest family possible. Mm-hmm. So it just sounds very like these people are trying to emulate biblical. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but in the Old Testament, doesn't it say shit like Moses lived to be like 694 and had like 120. Okay, I don't remember. It's like,
yeah, like one woman in the Bible got pregnant at like 100 years old, and then she lived for like a while. Yeah, and
even in
and then
Jesus helped some like old lady get pregnant at like 70 or some shit, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like back in biblical times, like everybody lived past 100, like to almost 1,000, according to the Bible, and women were getting pregnant well into their well past 50.
Wow. They were built different back then, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's back when God cared about us and actually talked to us like 1-to-1, had conversations.
True.
Gave us manna when we were hungry and shit. What does he do now?
Gives children cancer.
Wow, that's dark.
No, well, kids get cancer, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, what people...
How do you make sense of that?
People argue that there's God and then there's the absence of God.
Wow. So kids are experiencing the absence of God when they get leukemia at 4 years old? That sucks. Damn,
or God has bigger plans. I honestly,
for sure.
it's, as a very non-religious person who's working on my relationship with God. I'm trying my best here, but that's kind of like the logical fallacies that I also come across, which hurt my ability to believe.
Do you believe in dinosaurs?
Yes.
Okay, you know they're not in the Bible, right?
Well, yes. I've heard different ideas of how to deal with that conflict according to the Bible. My favorite one for that, Christian scientists believe that the bones were placed there by God to test our faith.
I've heard people say that.
I love that.
I've also heard people do
beautiful.
the like 7 days for God is not 7 days for us. So one of the days of creation could have been.
Yeah, he's an infinite being with.
True.
And also, didn't he create time? Like, well, no. First thing he did was create light, so that would be literally creating time.
True. Somebody found it. It's this couple.
Aww.
At home with America's new super breeders. We're big fans of your ability to sanely and soberly cross the aisle. As for who we are, you might know us from the Elite Couple meme, our 5 best-selling books, one topped the Wall Street Journal list a couple weeks ago, or our frequent media appearances. And apparently they are super breeders, and their goal is to have a ton of kids. Yeah.
But why do they want the attention?
Because they want other people to do it too, I think.
Oh.
They're trying to like encourage people to
Breeding
be
to
like
save mankind, I hear.
something, yeah.
Yeah. So at least it's not a competitive thing. At least they don't want to be like the only the only family in existence. They're not trying to become like Genghis Khan of Lauren is a retard. Don't debate her about religion. Thank you, Let Angry Gnome.
Let Angry Gnome.
I love chat.
Jesus. Professional level weightlifting lowers a man's lifespan to an average of 47.7 years. These guys are crazy.
From now on, whenever I read a mean chat, I'm just going to assume it's that red-faced guy, like, in his sock account. It's going to make it funnier.
Somebody was making, people were making pictures of him earlier. I thought this one was the fucking best picture I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, what's up with the earring? I'm sorry, it's just not...
Isn't it like a... Didn't guys start
That's
doing
not a
that?
conservative thing. It's definitely not.
Well, they're not TradCon, they're Red Pill, right?
What? I don't really... Can you explain the difference?
Red Pill and conservatives?
Red Pill and TradCon.
TradCon are traditional conservatives who are like, they like believe in the Bible and traditional relationships and families and shit. And, wait, did you get food?
Yeah.
Oh, did it just get here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why?
What do you mean why? It's my apartment. I can ask what's going on in here.
Because you said, I asked if you wanted food, you said nah.
I didn't say I wanted food. I was just seeing what was going on in my house.
Don't let him eat any of it.
I don't want to eat any of it. If you put it in front of me, I'm going to spit into it.
Why are you asking me what I'm doing?
Why? Because I want to know what you're doing. Because this is my fucking house. And I'm your fucking husband.
That is my life.
I don't give a fuck.
What?
It's our life. We're married. Our life.
Your views is sick.
Good. Yeah, it is. Endure.
I'm rubbing off on him my conservative values, and so now he's going to try to own you.
Yeah.
You dare to?
Tell you what to do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're making that face right now. You kind of look submissive.
I don't look submissive.
You think I do this?
I'm going to fucking kill you.
No, you're not.
Give me a kiss. Or I'm going to choke you in your sleep tonight. Okay.
Yes.
Be careful. Yeah, so trad is like traditional, like religious values, like whatever bullshit, and then red pill is like fuck as many damaged women as possible before trying to settle down with a 19-year-old Venezuelan virgin. I think that's like the difference.
I see. I very much get the difference. So
Yeah.
like,
TradCon is like I'm gonna worship God,
So
find a wife in the
red
church.
pill is the whatever podcast and Fresh and Fit, and
Yes.
TradCon is Ben Shapiro.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So like Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah, is gonna be like TradCon.
I like Matt Walsh. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
He's
I like
interesting.
him. He's funny.
For like any
He's
conservative.
to the point. He doesn't get animated. He's very like deadpan. I can
Mhm.
appreciate that.
Okay.
I don't like the.
More animated people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
You can just say you think I'm an emotional, effeminate piece of shit. If that's what you're trying to say, that's fine. Okay.
It's
You don't have to be
exactly
so
what I'm trying
subtle.
to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
What are
LSF
you talking about? I'm not going to own anything I say. No, just
Oh,
kidding.
sure, yeah. The LSF threat about use Warzone. Yeah. People on LSF will clip one thing about me. I don't know. I've got like hate watchers who will like try to find. So I'm watching a video. Do you know who H3H3 is, Ethan?
Yes. You do not a fan.
Ooh. Okay. Do you know like Abba and Preachar?
Sounds familiar.
Black Montreal content creators. They stand in a room and they like make content and they talk about shit. I'm sure you've seen fucking Abba and Preach before. These guys are world famous, okay? World famous, amazing fucking content creators. Premier. You've never seen these guys before?
I've never seen these
Just
guys
to have
before.
the same privilege.
Are you serious?
I would recognize them if I have. Yeah.
Unbelievable. 2 million, almost 2 million subscribers.
And I haven't seen,
You haven't even
I
seen them.
hadn't seen like whatever podcast or Fresh and Fit until like a couple months ago. So,
Jesus.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even know what Fresh and Fit was until after I went on whatever podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. But anyway, so H3H3 and Abba and Preach are like fighting with each other. And then I make a comment where I'm like,
wait, Avon Preach, is he liberal?
Abba and Preach are kind of like center left, I would say.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But then H3H3 and Hassan are kind of like far left.
Yeah.
So obviously far left and center left hate each other more than any fucking...
Two dichotomies.
Yeah, it's the worst thing in the world. Far left and center left people, yeah. But there's a guy called I Love Apple, and every time I ever mention Hassan, he always clips me. And I think there was like a 4-minute section of this, like 10-hour stream where I mentioned Hassan. And every time I get put on all this stuff, they're like, oh, Destiny talks about Hassan all the fucking time. You don't care about any of this. I don't want to tell you this. That's what the guy was trying to say. No, don't placate me. Don't placate me. I know you don't care about this. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you.
The point you get, the clipping of you back to back saying Hassan, 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 so it makes it look like you're talking about fucking Hassan the entire time.
I think I had a clip of me talking about Hassan like last month or something. But like when you come into these threads, people are always like unhinged.
I don't even look at chat. My mom told me today, she was like, I read something on Reddit and it looks like people on Destiny don't hate you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Mom, you read something on Reddit? Like, I don't even go on Reddit. What are you doing? Why are you doing that to yourself? Don't do that. Don't look at any comments. Like, what? That's not healthy for me. That won't be healthy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just don't do that shit.
Yeah,
you have way too much shit to worry about than thinking
I know.
about.
But it's funny to watch the subreddit because they like live in their own world. So like they're all commenting like Destiny's like dying and he's irrelevant and he's just trying to like ride Hassan's coattail. It's just like a bunch of haters on the thread. But that was what the guy was saying. True. Do you are there any communities online that you participate in? Like do you do like Reddit or Instagram or Twitter or?
Oh man, that's such a weird question because like. I started my YouTube career in such a weird way. So my friend is a journalist, the one covering the Karen Reed case before Karen Reed was an issue, but he was also covering Rachel Rollins and basically no other journalist was covering that. So I became a huge fan. Then he got sued by like 1 billion people on the same day. So I wanted to go to court with him because I thought that would be cool as like a law student. And then I went on YouTube and the following day I had like multiple channels make all these hater clips about me, yada yada. So I made my own channel to be like, nope, not that person. I'm actually totally different. But the point is, I got into like this weird ass community, and on YouTube. So it's not. I don't think it has a name. They call themselves Boit. It's really bad.
Boit?
Yeah, bottom of YouTube.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they're just a bunch of nasty, hateful people that like they don't have any like. Yeah, so I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to get into like more actual streaming with actual content, with actual discussions of things to say, as opposed to gossip. Because I find that there are a lot of like gossipy.
Well, wait.
channels.
So they do have a name if they're called Boit.
They call themselves that. They're so small. Like the biggest person in there probably has like 7,000 subs.
You could be the biggest person in there soon enough.
I don't want to be in there. I want to be.
But you'd be the biggest one in there.
But I don't want to be in there.
Then you could go bully them around. You could make hit pieces on all of them.
I refuse. Like if you go to any of my content, I refuse to make any negative. Like I refuse to gossip about somebody.
Wow.
That's not my thing. I refuse to do that on my stream. I guess you could argue maybe 2 of my streams. We were trying to talk about issues relating to a person. You could kind of say they were gossipy, but like I really went out of my way, bent over backwards to have the people we were discussing on the stream, but they refused. I don't like that shit. Do you find that
drama?
These spaces get really catty and full of drama?
Oh, they do. But I love fighting with people, so it's fun for me. I enjoy it. It makes you feel alive. You'd enjoy it too. You should try it. You really need to roll around in the mud.
Trust me, in my community,
When me and
people
Martin were fighting with
will-
each other, you must have been like, God, this seems like so much fun. I wish I could be hurling insults at somebody.
I felt like it was fun for you. I don't think it was fun for Martin.
But you wouldn't have I think you'd have fun. You should try it. Go on Fresh and Fit tomorrow. You should be real combative.
Who
Try
should I
it.
be combative with?
Fresh and Fit.
Like,
You don't want to be combative with the
well,
other girls.
Yeah,
Yeah, so fight the host. They like that.
they do not. They do not.
Do it.
What would be like the one? So the thing to trigger Brian is obviously calling him a 3 or 4. What's the thing to trigger Myron?
Well, trigger like you want to get kicked off, or trigger like you want to ideologically pin him.
Ideologically pin.
Challenging his, like, he has a few fundamental assumptions about men and women, and if you fight him on that, he'll get really mad. So, like, for instance, one thing that he's going to say a million times is male reproductive strategy is to spread your seed and fuck as many women as possible. Female reproductive seed is to lock down as many resources as possible. He'll say that, like, that's a fundamental difference between how men and women approach sex. And then he'll say that, like, this is why in relationships men should be allowed to sleep around, because when men are sleeping around, it's not really cheating, it's just what we're designed to do. But if women sleep around, they're actually cheating on the man, because that's not what they're designed to do. When men step out on women and they cheat, it's just because men's natural inclination is to fuck as many women as possible. But when a woman steps out and cheats, it's because the man isn't satisfying her. So, like, that's like a big fundamental assumption he has for...
What you could argue with that biologically, though, if men were actually designed to do that, and then plus our society, so you have like two conflicting things, biology and society. With society, if you get 15 women pregnant, you're going to be paying 15 different child support. So that's probably not the incentivized in society.
Anytime you talk about society, is going to go, yeah, but listen, biologically, this is what men are designed to do. We can only do so much societally speaking. Biologically, men want to fuck. That's what they want to do. That's why throughout all of human history, men have always fucked more than women.
Okay, but hold on, just stick with the biology society thing one more second though. With women though, like if they're pregnant, right, they can't get pregnant again. So wouldn't pregnant women be biologically designed to fuck as many guys as they want?
No, because the woman is trying to give sex to one guy to lock down the resources.
Wait, why wouldn't you want to lock down resources with many men and
because
get
an
all of
alpha
these
male
men?
is not going to fuck a woman who's already pregnant, because he's not going to be able to put a baby in her.
Is he going to know that she's pregnant at like 2 weeks, 3 weeks? And wouldn't that be locking down a lot of resources if you get like 5, 6 different men thinking that's your baby?
Maybe. That's a good point.
Yeah, you got 1 baby, 6 baby daddies. It's a lot of money coming in.
True. That's why the woman's trying to lock down a beta guy to raise the alpha child.
So yes, key women. Okay, here's the plan: do in vitro fertilization with someone that would, or something that you would actually want, and then go fuck like
The
50 different.
But that's
beta
unironically,
dudes.
that's what they believe in. It's called the dual mating hypothesis. Rollo Tomasi has a thing called alpha fucks, beta bucks. And what he says is that what a woman will do is she'll fuck a beta guy on the side to keep him happy. That's like a lawyer. But then when she's like...
That's like a lawyer?
Yeah, because he's bringing the money, but he's a beta. But then when she's fertile, she'll go fuck like the alpha pool boy, the Chad guy with the good
like the
genetic
bartender.
features. Yeah, or the Chad weightlifter or whatever. Yeah.
Me personally, I just want a nice husband. Like I just don't think any of that. Like,
well, you're the anomaly. We're not talking about you. We're talking about what the average woman wants. That's great if you want that. That's what he'll say. Anytime you give a personal example that conflicts with them, he'll say
how would you handle his ideology about this particular issue?
Well, I did like 36 hours of research and I put together a whole doc debunking all of it. Okay, that's what I did.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time with that shit.
True. What you said was actually pretty close to why Evo psychologists don't believe in dual mating hypothesis anymore, is because human females conceal their ovulatory phase from men. So like, like cats and dogs, I know cats for sure. Like when a cat is in heat,
they give out the pheromones.
And they look like it, they act like it. So if you were like an alpha male cat, you know when to swoop in, fuck a cat, and then leave, right? But because women are such high investment, or humans are high investment offspring, having an alpha guy that can identify your fertility phase is probably evolutionary disadvantageous. So you mask it, and then the only way to really ensure you're getting a woman pregnant is to fuck her for a long period of time.
Right.
So women probably evolved to select for non-dominant men that aren't looking to fuck once and leave, but somebody that will fuck over a long period of time, because the men are selecting for women that will stay with them for long periods of time, because otherwise they have no guarantee of spreading their genes.
Do you think this would is part of the reason why we have like a decrease in testosterone is because women.
No, that shit is fucking. You're on some microplastic shit.
No,
okay, I'm talking about real science right
no,
now.
I'm not
Okay.
talking about microplastics. I'm talking about
My
like
guess
we
is-
actually have like a decrease in masculinity.
No, my guess for decrease in testosterone, if I had to guess, 3 ordinary factors within a guy's life I think that he can do to control for testosterone. I think is 1 is having enough zinc in your diet, 2 is getting enough sleep because the highest point of testosterone is in the morning, and 3 are doing lifts that involve lots of different muscles in the body. Those are like the 3 quick things that you can do to increase your testosterone as a male. 4 is being obese has direct links to having low testosterone as well.
And we have an obesity epidemic.
So when people are sedentary and people have really bad diets in terms of micronutrients, and when people are overweight, these are things that are all probably driving down your testosterone way more than microplastics.
I wasn't saying microplastics. I was thinking
okay.
like breeding, like genuinely breeding towards like more beta males so that you're not getting impregnated by some alpha chad who leaves you. So like if women are selectively choosing more like lower testosterone men for the reason of finding a man that will stay with them, then aren't we biologically creating like a weaker and weaker?
Well, but like the thing is that like we say weaker, but how we measure strong and weak biologically is going to be a lot different than what we perceive as like strong or weak societally, right? So like here is like a thing, for instance, like people will say that like women are biologically drawn towards men with like huge muscles because you're drawn like it has nothing to do with society, that's a biological inclination, blah blah blah. But if you ever go and look at people that live like in tribal life, or if you look at what old hunters look like, none of these guys are benching 225 in the gym. These guys don't have huge fucking deltoids and like they're like distance runners. They have relatively lithe bodies. They can be like a little bit developed, but they're not gonna look like guys at the gym ever. But people will like will tell you that like, no, these are like biological urges. So women are probably drawn towards men that can lock down resources. I think essentially that's what like a high value man is. He's a guy that can lock down resources. So to say that like a lawyer or a doctor is like a beta, like doesn't make sense because he's getting more resources than people like ever have. And historically speaking, like our intelligence is probably the most important thing that we select for, because you know, like women give birth, it sucks for humans because the baby's head is so fucking big.
Yeah, so and because we walk upright now, and so our pelvises are shifted and all fucked and not how it's supposed to be.
So like so intelligence is probably one of the most important things we select for. So for guys to walk around acting like what women are drawn towards are literal apes is fucking retarded, because apes are actually like that, right? I think way more fast twitch muscle fibers, they carry a lot of muscle naturally. Apes is it an orangutan can lift like 600 pounds without ever doing anything. They're insane.
Also, the way that they mate is completely. Isn't there like a genuine alpha that will mate with all the women and then try to kill off the men? I'm pretty sure that's how.
I don't know if the alphas mate with all the women, but I do know that. I'm
pretty sure they do, because if the baby isn't theirs, then they kill the baby. So all the women with packs, there's one man and multiple women.
I know that for lions, I think they do that. There'll be one leader of the pride, and when they come into new prides, they'll like eat all the babies that aren't theirs. That's true, yeah. Yeah.
Not true. People are saying not true. I don't know.
I don't know if in gorillas and shit, I don't think that it's
gorillas.
I thought that gorillas and shit have like they're more community oriented than like lions that will come in and literally
not
eat.
chimps. I'm talking about gorillas, but whatever.
Sure.
But whatever. I don't care. I'm wrong about the Caribbean. I don't know my fucking animals. I don't know shit, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah. Destiny's only has me here because I pay him.
True.
Did you see? Oh my God! Did you see that video of Gorlock negotiating with that guy?
I haven't seen any videos.
No. You have to watch that. So she's talking to this other streamer. I don't even know who the streamer is, and he's like, "Hey, I want you on my show. Well, will you come on my show?" And she goes, "Well, I charge $2,500 for me to come on your stream."
Damn.
And he goes, "Okay, let's make a deal." And I'm pretty sure this is one you're not going to refuse. How about $2K and a Big Mac?
Okay.
And she just like looked really hurt.
And I can imagine so. She's a fat joke.
Yeah, and then that clip went viral, and it's just been like a whole thing.
Damn.
Yeah, I felt bad. I actually feel really bad for this person. Do you not?
I mean, like, she chose to go on these shows. I'm not sure what the goal was. I don't know.
Well, aren't they making a ton of money? Like, aren't they making money from
No, I don't know
this?
what the girls going on the shows?
No. Like, if it blows up their career, like this Al Weezy person, like they went on the show, it blew up their social media and whatnot.
I feel like these people never make money on these shows. Like, I don't think these girls ever like blow up. Like, it's weird because these girls think they'll go on and blow up, but I don't. Yeah, I feel like they. Like, what do you think they're getting? Like, if you watch these girls' Instagrams before and after, they get like 50 to 100 followers. Like, they're not like blowing up.
I got 1,000.
Okay, well, aren't you cool?
I had like
on for the Whatever podcast.
I had about 300, maybe 400 before Whatever podcast. I didn't really use Instagram. I don't think I even posted in maybe a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have like 1,300 or something.
Was that only from that appearance, or do you think like being on Nick Rakita's stream and stuff has helped too?
I think it was just that. It was basically just that appearance. There was one time Nick asked, I think someone asked about where they could find a picture of me in a bikini. I said Instagram, and that got me like instantly like 50 follows.
Okay.
But no, I actually but what really pissed me off about Whatever is in terms of like linking Instagram is like, I didn't use Instagram. Why didn't you link my YouTube? And Giselle, she barely uses Instagram. She uses Twitch. Why didn't you link her Twitch? Why don't you link, I don't know, these people's various fucking platforms? Why are you just assuming everybody's on
Instagram? I mean,
well, the only way that you could even get onto the show in the first place is Instagram, because I went on Twitter and I messaged the Whatever podcast. I was like, hey, like, I'd like to be on your show. And then they literally just wrote in reply, DM Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is literally what I just fucking did. I just DM'd Whatever. And then I was like, oh, they must mean Instagram. Like why wouldn't DM on Instagram? Didn't say that, but I was like, okay, so I did the same thing on Instagram and then I got booked. So they won't even book you if you don't have an Instagram.
That's the platform they're looking to grow on, or that's where they're getting the girls from, right?
It's just a matter of respect for your guests. These guests are coming from various places.
I mean, to be fair, it's their show, right?
It is their show, and
they're looking for people on Instagram as a platform. That's like what they're.
That is fine, but like, why? Maybe you could have it a rule that you must have an Instagram to be on the show, but it would be respectful to promote the various people on their platforms, because that's where they thrive. Like, if he came onto my show and I promoted his Twitter, like, that would do nothing for him, because he doesn't really use the Twitters. He uses YouTube and Instagram.
Okay.
Do you disagree? Just like,
I mean, I agree to be polite, but like, I mean, I can understand going on a show and them being
just
like,
doing it the way that they want to do it.
That's what they do. Why do you have dreadlocks at one point?
Me, I had cornrows.
Really?
Yeah, I was in a movie and I was the main actress.
Wait, what movie?
It was called Roots of Tension.
Was this what you looked? Is this you?
That is literally, that is what I looked like, because that is literally me, because that's my face.
Was this like an indie movie?
It was somebody he was getting his film degree in a college in Hollywood.
Am I allowed to look this up? They can't see this on stream. A black girl, Nia. Is that who you were playing? Or were you the white girl, Ashley?
I was clearly the white girl. You fucking dumb fuck.
You had cornrows. I don't know. Maybe you went full fucking send on this. Jeez.
Jesus. No. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Those were
How cute.
Yeah,
How long did this
super
filming take for
fun.
this?
Only 2 days.
Okay, so it was like a short film,
super short film. Tico.
Did you feel like you learned like the perspective of like African Americans?
That was the writer and director right there. Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Docs. You
they
could
can't
say
see it
my
on
name.
stream.
I don't care. I don't care. You could dox me. I don't even have my name. I don't even have my photo on IMDb.
Jesus. Okay.
Whatever. All the other people wanted to be like big actors and shit and yada yada. Nia, she's cool. She's cool. She runs in weird circles. Like, I was looking at her Instagram the other day and she was just like hanging out with, was it Cardi B? It was just the most like random person. I was like,
why aren't you hanging out with Cardi B?
Because I'm not cool like that. I'm hanging out with people like Destiny.
How long has Cardi B been famous? Okay, I've been famous for like 13 years. Okay, now she might have a little bit of a brighter shine, but her candle's gonna burn out a lot sooner than mine. Okay.
I mean, okay, who came up with the colored hair first?
Probably a white man. Okay, let's be real. Okay, I've got closer lineage.
Between you and Cardi, who came up with the neon hair first?
I don't care. I don't watch Cardi B. I don't even know what kind of music she makes.
You basically just wish you were Cardi, is what
I'm a Taylor Swift fan. Okay, not a Michael Jackson fan. All right, I like real music. Okay. Okay. What do you have any final word? I need to cut this pretty soon. It's fucking late. I've streamed a lot today. Do you want to say anything else for your new fans out there?
Thank you, new fans. Try to get me to 4,000 subs, please.
On what, YouTube?
On YouTube, yeah. Follow me on YouTube or on Instagram if you like, bikini pictures.
True. Okay, where's the somebody link your YouTube?
No, don't worry. It doesn't matter.
No, we'll link your YouTube.
I don't really care.
We try to be nice in here.
That's
okay?
nice. That is very nice. Look at you. That's so kind. So right. I literally just complained about someone else not doing that. So.
True. Yeah. And now I feel like the pressure. Ordinarily I wouldn't at all, but I don't want you to I know you'll shit talk me on the
That's
next stream you go on.
I'm literally gonna go on Fresh and Fit and be like, "Can I tell you about this dumb fuck Destiny?"
Oh, they would love you for that. Okay.
Should I actually though? Would that be funny if I just started shitting?
Just shitting on me? Oh my god, that would be so funny. Like if you called me a fag and said I was a fucking loser, and was said that you hit me and that you killed my car and that'd be so funny. Wouldn't it just be funny if you were a total cunt?
Yeah, that'd be actually pretty funny.
You should do it. I give you mad props for it. Okay. And then when you come on next time, we'll be like, "Why'd you say that about me on Fresh and Fit?" And you're like, "Say what?
Say what? I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Can you explicitly tell me what you're so mad about?"
And then you're like, "That really made you mad?" I thought I was just joking, right? When their whole chat was roasting you with me, that was just a joke, right?
Right. And it's true. Not only is it just a joke, and it's true. So you should just take it.
Absolutely.
But I didn't say it, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Thanks. Okay. All right. I love you guys. I think I have a few meetings tomorrow morning, and then I'll stream probably around 1 or 2, and then I think I'm doing a show tomorrow night, and then I fly out on the 25th. So I should be back tomorrow. I love you guys. Stay safe. Be careful. Host Sneeko. I don't think we can host on Rumble yet, but you can go watch Sneeko on Rumble if you want. Reparino, Cappuccino, Pappuccino, Hoppuccino, Moppuccino, Dappuccino, Cappuccino, Alpuccino, my duderinos. I love you guys. I will see you guys next Streamerino tomorrow. Be careful, my duders.